I didn't see him. What are you looking so sad about, Jam?
Man, I'm surprised at you. I mean, I'm really insulted. I mean, that's not right what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talk about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I went on a Bomber One tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right. You know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Salute to Miss Cass. Without her, none of this would be possible. Salute to Just Do Boxing. Salute Just Do. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Boxtorian. Today, Ring Magazine Fight of the Year, the conclusion. As the family today, we're going to look at the Ring Magazine fights from 2000 all the way up to the current one from 2025. We went all the way from 1922, when Ring first came into existence and started naming fights of the year all the way up to 1999 yesterday. So the 2000s today. Next week, we're going to look at the fighters of the year that started in 1928, 6 years after the Ring came into existence. Okay, so we're going to finish up the Ring Magazine fights of the year today from 2000 to 2025. The current reigning fight of the year. Okay, but how's everybody? It's Tuesday, still early in this big week of boxing history. We're going to have our fighters a day, Ring Magazine fights of the year, and some other things. We're going to look at March 13th, 1999, when boxing left the mainstream. The rivalry between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, when they called that a draw. Okay, that's when boxing that was really a bad look. Right after the bite fight, the fan man came into the ring. Boxing was like a circus almost then. Okay, still hadn't got it too much better. And we're going to look at 10 boxers that became politicians today. And then the country for today is going to be Venezuela. We're going to look at 100 years of boxing in Venezuela and some of the boxers that came out of Venezuela. All of that today on Cast Sports, the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Yep. Still thinking about this past weekend. Monster is still undefeated and undisputed. He said he got one more fight at 126. And he said 122. One more fight at 122. And he said 126 is going to be his final weight class. Okay. So everybody can forget a Monster and Tank fight. I knew that was never going to happen anyway. They were too far apart. People were clamoring for a Monster and Tank fight. Tank at 135, Monster at 122. Come on. Tank ain't coming down. People saying, well, he can come down to 130. Why? Okay, money ain't everything. He's already making enough money to not drain himself back down to 130. And Monster said he's not going past 126. So that's out of the question. Right, so let's stop talking about that ridiculous fight. Okay. But now let's get ready to get into our fight of the day to start things off today. Okay. Got some more boxing coming up this weekend. Yeah, May is a great month. Started off with a bang with the action we had this past weekend. And then we got, of course, Keyshawn and the Harry Albright rematch after what happened in Norfolk the last time they met. The activity after the fight back in the locker room area. And then we got O'Shaquie and Raymond Ford. O'Shaquie wants the Shakur fight, but Shakur will probably beat O'Shaquie just like he did Teofimo Lopez. But yeah, I hope Shakur takes that fight and shut O'Shaquie's mouth up. I like O'Shaquie, but he can't deal with Shakur. He will probably beat Raymond Ford, but Shakur is a whole different animal. Slick Shakur Stevenson. So, O'Shaquie, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. That's all I got to say about it. Okay, and then Usyk is fighting next month too, and Dimitri Bivol is fighting next month. Okay, so this month, May. We're in May now. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I erased the entire month of April. Well, at the beginning of April, I erased the whole month and went to May to the Monster Nakatani fight. Now I'm going past May, but this is May, so yeah, a lot of action, big names in there. Usyk is fighting this month, and Bivol. I think Bivol is fighting on the final Saturday of the month. Yeah, May 30th. I think that's a Saturday. 9th, 16th, 23rd, 30th. Yeah, 30th is the final Saturday of the month. But let's get into our fight of the day now. Okay. So without further ado, today's fight of the day. I don't know what that buzzer was. Did y'all hear that? Some of that brrr. Okay, Jaw in the building. Salute, Jaw. We just get ready to kick this thing off with the fighters of the day. Yesterday we started the list of Ring Magazine's fight of the year, all of them. We went from 1922 from the fight of the year through the 90s, and we're going to do the rest of them today, the 2000s, all the fights of the year in the 2000s today. But salute Jar in the building. Appreciate you, Jar. Jar come in bearing gifts into the building. A super chat. Appreciate you, Jar. Yeah, and Jar, that's real family. We found out like a month ago. Me and Jar likely real family. His grandfather was a Sewell, and we both from Baltimore. So yeah, and my sister recognized the name. So yeah, that's real blood family. But salute, Jar. Okay, let's get into our fight of the day. Okay, there's the two warriors up there. Today's fight of the day is Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward 1, May 18th, 2002, the beginning. This fight began that historic rivalry they had, one of the best trilogies in boxing history. Ward Gatti won today. Kensaw, and there's Kensaw Love 1. Salute Kensaw Love 1. How are you today? Good to see you. We're going to be talking about Ring Magazine fights of the year for the 2000s to finish the list off. We looked at all of them. But now the fight of the day that began that historic trilogy between these two fighters. Ward Gatti won. This took place on May 18th, 2002, entitled The Beginning. Let's take a look at it. Okay. The final bell rings, the crowd roars, and the two warriors embrace and then raise each other's hands. This is the part of boxing that typically perplexes non-fans of the sweet sides. How could two athletes who just finished pounding the hell out of each other now demonstrate so much genuine respect for each other, even affection? How can such respect exist between combatants who have just done their utmost to render each other unconscious? To understand the answer to this question is to grasp one of the most compelling aspects of boxing, the fact that the vast majority of pugilists are not brutal gladiators seeking to satisfy their thirst for blood or to win at any cost. Rather, there are men and women driven to test themselves and to achieve victory in the most demanding of competitions. This requires extreme courage, which is precisely why fighters hold their fellow combatants in such high regard. How could you not respect your opponent when they, just like you, are willing to put their very life on the line, when they, just like you, are among that small group who know what it's like to set aside all fear and take that long walk through the crowd to where the ultimate test awaits you? Of course, some fighters do harbor genuine enmity for their opponents. But when it comes to rivals whose fights represent incredible brutality and at the same time mutual respect and admiration, there are few better examples than the 30 rounds of combat between Irish Mickey Ward and Arturo Thunder Gatti. The Gatti vs. Ward trilogy took place from May 2002 to June 2003. 3 glorious and bloody battles that have taken on almost legendary status in the years since they took place. Ironically, when the two fought the first time, they had both seen better days Gaddy's warrior legacy had been firmly cemented thanks to his dramatic slugfest with Wilson Rodriguez, Gabriel Ruelas, and Yvonne Robinson. While those exciting struggles had made Arturo a fan favorite, they had also taken a physical toll. But despite the plethora of hard fights under his belt, Gaddy was arguably the fresher of the two. Ward, the pride of Lowell, Massachusetts, had amassed 48 fights, 9 more than the Montreal native Gaddy, including 11 losses. His roller coaster career epitomized that of a journeyman. And while a number of defeats came against top fighters like Vince Phillips, Zab Judah, and Jesse James Leisure, Ward had also lost to Ricky Myers and Mike Mungin, unknowns to even diehard fans. But the two fighters combined 16 losses meant nothing to those eagerly anticipating the first Gaddy vs. Ward clash. Sometimes boxing fans are lucky enough to witness a matchup for which excitement is virtually guaranteed. When both pugilists have a proven track record of being in exciting fights, you know fireworks are inevitable. And fireworks were produced in amazing volume and with startling brilliance on May 18th, 2002, though not from the opening bell. Okay, didn't start out with fireworks. There's Thunder Gaddy. Now Arturo began the fight in boxer mode, moving fluidly with excellent footwork. He fired quick combinations and was landing at will, never letting Ward get set to throw his own shots. With the fight in the center of the ring, Ward's technical flaws were exposed, his wide power shots only catching air. Gaddy's success continued in round 2 with head and foot speed, as well as punch variety, being the difference early in the fight. Ward simply could not track Arturo down and land anything of significance. It was clear from the first 2 rounds that Gaddy was a more versatile boxer, possessing the skill to treble the more limited slugger in Ward. But midway through round 3, Mickey turned the tide, thanks to his patented left hook to the liver. He landed it at least 6 times, each time applying it using the same double hook combination, with the first merely tapping to the head as a distraction, and the second landing with full force to the body. Each landed shot compounded the damage, and Gaddy retreated as Ward imposed his will. Then, with 30 seconds to go, the first explosive and prolonged exchange took place, both landing vicious power shots. With his movement compromised, Gaddy was, as always, up for the challenge of a slugfest. But just as Ward succeeded in backing up his opponent, Gaddy then connected with a series of hellacious right hooks to the body, pushing Ward back and earning himself some breathing room. Okay? So Ward continued his attack in round 4 as he followed up a body feint with a hard overhand right that stunned Gaddy, who managed to stay upright and later retaliated with his own sharp hooks and uppercuts. With 30 seconds to go, Ward uncharacteristically switched to southpaw, and Gaddy immediately seized the opportunity to land a vicious left hook towards now unprotected right side. The punch landed with such force that Ward dropped to the canvas, banging his gloves against the mat in agony. But the pain was more a result of the punch's placement than its force. it had connected below the belt, causing referee Frank Cappuccino to deduct the point from Gaddy. Yeah, Gaddy got a low one in. Now, Ward continued to press in round 5, forcing Gaddy to throw hard punches to keep Mickey at bay. Much of the action took place inside Ward's preferred location, but Gaddy still outthrew and outlanded his opponent. The punches both men absorbed would have undoubtedly felled many other fighters, but these two guys weren't ordinary pugilists when it came to the capacity to absorb punishment and keep firing back. Yeah, neither one of these was ordinary. Many fighters would have been done in the 4th round, but this was Gaddy and Ward. They could take unusual amounts of punishment. That was evident when, with 20 seconds to go, Gaddy unleashed a flurry of shots to Ward's head and body. And Mickey responded the only way he knew how, by taking a deep breath and launching a flurry of his own. He landed a blistering sequence of short hooks, knocking Gaddy's head around like it were inside a pinball machine. The flurry sent Gaddy stumbling into the ropes, where Ward continued to pour it on, throwing a bevy of power shots in an attempt to end the fight. But due to his unfathomable determination and otherworldly survival instincts, Arturo stayed on his feet. And in fact, the resilient Gaddy managed to bounce back in the next 2 rounds, returning to his boxing tactics as he again showed good footwork and ring generalship. He avoided Ward's big punches with upper body and head movement, while landing his own from the outside. But the momentum shifts continued, and with 10 seconds to go in round 8, Mickey stunned Gaddy with a short right, causing him to slowly retreat to the ropes. Ward knew his opponent was hurt and proceeded to land several vicious shots to the head. But thanks to the belt, Gaddy survived again. Given the sheer action that was packed into the first 8 rounds of Gaddy vs. Ward, it was inconceivable that the level of brutality could be topped. But that is exactly what unfolded in round 9, a 3-minute interval of excitement and violence that will live forever in the pantheon of the greatest rounds in the history of boxing. Ward stormed out to continue where he left off, and he landed his double left hook once more, with the second punch digging into Gaddy's liver as if it had been shot out of a cannon. Even the toughest warriors can be hurt, and Gaddy was badly damaged by that punch. He staggered back with his hands down and dropped to his knees, but despite grimacing in agony, Arturo managed to beat the count. Ward put all he had into finishing his tough foe, pummeling Gaddy around the ring. But Thunder was not ready to throw in the towel. Although he had absorbed countless punches during Ward's onslaught, his indomitable spirit kept him upright. And now, with Ward having gassed himself out in search of the knockout, it was Gaddy's turn to seize the momentum. He backed Ward off with some well-placed hooks to the body, and then pushed Ward to the ropes, unleashing power shots and getting the better of the exchanges. But that caused Gaddy to tire, and Ward took advantage by hurting Arturo with another liver shot. Defying human physiological functioning, Ward summoned enough energy to go for the finish once again. Ward ricocheted a series of punches off Gaddy's unprotected skull, and Arturo was forced to hang on for dear life. Somehow, Gaddy found the strength to tie Ward up near the end of the round, and thus survived to the bell once again. These two guys was just inhuman. Gaddy made it again. It's safe to say that the events of round 9 would have diminished or defeated any fighter, no matter how tough. But that's why Arturo Gatti was so special. He possessed unfathomable resolve and will. His ability to fight through fire and pain matched only by that of Ward, his opponent. The number of momentum swings in that round was incredible. Each man rallying from the brink of defeat when it appeared he had nothing left. In the 10th and final round, Ward continued to stalk, but Gatti was ready, having miraculously recovered from the previous round. He stood in the pocket and ripped hard hooks off of Ward's head and body, relentlessly walking through stiff shots from Ward and returning fire. With 20 seconds to go, both fighters summoned the energy to empty their tanks, winging punches in all directions. HBO commentator Larry Merchant perfectly summed up the fight. I am humbled by watching these two guys take the punishment they are taking. With both fighters exhausted, they fell into each other's arms at the sound of the final bell. Fell into each other's arms at the bell. What a fight. There they are. There couldn't have been a more fitting end to the first chapter in such a storied rivalry. Both gallant warriors gave every ounce of their strength, and with both still standing at the end, a hug of respect was the only natural reaction. It is exactly that kind of human element that is often underappreciated in such a brutal sport. Yes, Ward and Gatti severely punished each other in their pursuit of victory. But at the end of it all, they hugged it out like they were best friends. And over the course of the legendary Gatti vs. Ward trilogy, that's exactly what they would become. Best friends. While Ward was declared the winner by majority decision in the first fight, there really was no loser. They both earned the victory more valuable than a W on their record. That of ultimate respect from each other and from every fight fan lucky enough to have witnessed that encounter. Although this was only chapter 1 in their story, it was this fight that caused their names to be inextricably linked forever. Without the amazing show put on in that first tilt, there would never have been a second or a third. And given the incredible action in those battles, boxing fans are fortunate indeed that they stepped into the ring on a storied night and gave pugilism an unforgettable war. Gatti Ward, there you have it, the fight of the day. Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward. Irish Mickey Ward, Arturo Thunder Gatti. Okay, so now we are going to continue with our Ring Magazine's fight of the day. Okay, we got all the way up to the 2000s yesterday, through 1922 through 1999. So today we are going to do the 2000s. Every fight of the year for the 2000s. From the year 2000 to 2025 last year. And that was fight of the year. That was Marquez Pacquiao 4 right there. Yeah. Yeah, that was a truly a one-punch knockout. Manny ran right into that. Mm-hmm. Yes, he did, coming forward with that double jab. He got the first jab in, but before that second one, Marquez timed him and came over the top with that overhand right, and that was the result right there. Mm-hmm. Excuse me for one moment. And then there was more light. Working off notes today, so yeah, y'all gotta bear with me. My sloppy handwriting again. reading of written, sloppy handwriting. But yeah, we're gonna make it through it just like we did yesterday. Okay, but first let's look at a little summary of the ring fight of the year again. Okay, like we did yesterday. Let's go through the summary of it first, and then start with the 2000. Okay, little summary of the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Chat and disappeared. There we go. It's back. Yeah. All right. Them lights looking okay for early. Okay. Okay, Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Okay, the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year is an annual accolade presented by The Ring, the authoritative boxing publication founded in 1922 by Ned Fleischer, recognizing the professional fight that exemplifies superior action, drama, and skill within the calendar year. Now, the award originated in 1922 with the debut honor awarded to the light heavyweight clash between Gene Tunney and Harry Greb, noted for its savagery and intensity. Now, since its inception, the Fight of the Year has highlighted fights that transcend mere victory, okay? Often featuring relentless pressure, resilience, and memorable moments that captivate audiences and influence perceptions of boxing's artistry. Now, selection relies on editorial judgment from the ring staff, prioritizing empirical excitement over promotional hype, though subjectivity invites debate among fans and analysts regarding overlooked contenders. Now, notable recipients include multiple awards involving Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward in the early 2000s, emblematic of the award's affinity for high-stakes endurance tests, and also heavyweight epics like the 1974 Rumble in the Jungle between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Muhammad Ali holds the record for most participants in Fight of the Year belts, appearing in 6 such distinguished contests. Yeah, Ali holds the record. He was in 6 Fights of the Year. Now, the award's prestige stems from the ring's historical role in standardizing boxing rankings and championships, lending it credibility amid the sport's fragmented sanctioning bodies. Though modern iterations, like the 2024 selection of Raymond Ford versus Ottobek Tomatov, underscores evolving criteria toward undercard gems over marquee-type events. Now, while not without criticism for occasional biases towards certain styles or promotions, it remains a benchmark for boxing excellence, fostering discourse on what constitutes a great fight beyond knockouts or titles. Okay, so let's get into the remaining fights of the year that we didn't cover yesterday. We're in the 2000s, okay? All fights of the year from 2000 to the current reigning fight of the year from 2025. Okay, 2000. Fight of the year for 2000 was Erik Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera, 1. Now, the first fight between Morales and Barrera took place on February 19th, 2000 at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. It is regarded as one of the great brawls in boxing history. Morales prevailed by split decision, despite Barrera scoring a dramatic knockdown in the 12th round, though Morales' camp argued it was a slip. The 5th round of the war was Ring Magazine's Round of the Year, as both fighters stood toe-to-toe, trading heavy power punches without either taking a backward step. Okay, 2001 Fight of the Year was Mickey Ward versus Emmanuel Augustus. Now, the fight between Ward and Augustus was held on July 13th, 2001, at the Hampton Beach Casino in New Hampshire. Ward won by unanimous decision in a 10-round junior welterweight clash that featured non-stop, high-intensity action from start to finish. Okay, 2002, Ring Magazine Fight of the Year, 2002. Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gatti won. Fight of the day we just looked at. On May 18th, 2002, Mickey Ward defeated Arturo Gatti by 10-round majority decision at Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. It is one of boxing's most brutal and celebrated fights. The junior welterweight clash is known for its legendary 9th round, where Ward landed a devastating left hook to the liver that dropped Gatti, who survived the round. The fight solidified both men's reputation for heart and toughness. Okay, and then the fight of the year for 2003 was Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward 3. Okay, 2 of the 3 made fight of the year between Ward and Gatti. Now, Gatti defeated Ward by unanimous decision in their third and final fight on June 7th, 2003, at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey, ending their trilogy 2-1 in Gatti's favor. The 10-round war featured a 6th-round knockdown of Gatti, but saw him dominate the fight overall. Okay, 2004. Morales and Barrera again. Marco Antonio Barrera versus Eric Morales 3. On November 27th, 2004, Marco Antonio Barrera defeated Eric Morales by majority decision to conclude one of the greatest trilogies in boxing history. Held at MGM Grand in Las Vegas, the fight was a brutal back-and-forth war that many fans felt was the most decisive of their 3 encounters, despite the close scores. Okay, 2005, another good one. Diego Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo. Corrales and Castillo met on May 7th, 2005 at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas. For 9 rounds, both fighters engaged in a relentless toe-to-toe battle. The 10th round is legendary for its dramatic shift in momentum. Within the first 30 seconds, Castillo knocked Corrales down, and shortly after, he dropped him again. Looking finished, Corrales suddenly landed a devastating right hand that froze Castillo. He then pinned Castillo to the ropes and unleashed a flurry of unanswered punches, prompting referee Tony Weeks to step in and stop the fight at 2:06 of the 10th round, awarding Corrales a TKO victory. Yeah, that was a doozy there. 2005 Fight of the Year. Corrales and Castillo. Okay, we go to 2006, which was Somsak Chachawal versus Maryal Manshapur. The 2000 fight between Somsak and Manshapur was a brutal and thrilling battle. It took place on March 18th, 2006 in France. This was in a stadium named after the legendary French fighter Marcel Cerdan. Somsak won by 10th round TKO. He dropped Manshapur in the very first round. Manshapur battled back fiercely, throwing hundreds of punches, keeping the fight at an incredible pace. Round 10 was named Ring Magazine's Round of the Year. By the 10th round, both fighters were exhausted. Somsak eventually found a second win and overwhelmed Manshapur, superior power, trapping him against the ropes until the referee stepped in and stopped it at 2:42 of the round. 2007 Fight Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Israel Vasquez versus Rafael Marquez 2. The second encounter between Vasquez and Marquez took place on August 4th, 2007 at Dodge Arena in Hidalgo, Texas. It was relentless back and forth action for 6 rounds, with both fighters landing massive power shots. In the 6th round, after a sustained assault, Vasquez dropped Marquez. And after a sustained assault after the knockdown, the referee stepped in to stop the fight at 1:16 of the round, giving Vasquez the TKO victory. Okay, yeah, Vasquez. 2008 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year for 2008. Produced Arnie Boxing. Salute, Arnie. We looked at every Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. We got 1922 to 1999 yesterday, and now we are finishing up the 2000 Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year. This is 2008. Ismael Vasquez versus Rafael Marquez 3. Same 2 fighters again that won it in 2007. Okay, this was 3. Vasquez and Marquez again. This was the 3rd fight of the trilogy. Now, Vasquez defeated Marquez by a split decision in their 3rd fight on March 1st, 2008 at the Home Depot Center in California, Carson, California. The 12th round battle featured a 4th round knockdown of Vasquez and intense action throughout. Okay, 2009, Rafael's brother, Juan Manuel Marquez versus Juan Diaz won. First fight between them. Okay, let's see. Arnie said, oh, he's speaking to Jarrell. Okay, so yeah, this is 2009 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year was Juan Manuel Marquez versus Juan Diaz 1. Okay. On February 28th, 2009, Marquez defeated Diaz by technical knockout in the 9th round. The fight was contested at the Tokyo Center in Houston, Texas. After a fast start by Diaz, Marquez turned the fight in his favor during the middle rounds with his experience and superior counterpunching. The 9th round finish came when Marquez landed a massive uppercut that floored Diaz. Although Diaz beat the count, Marquez followed up with another brutal uppercut to the chin, prompting the referee to step in and stop the fight. 2010 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Giovanni Segura versus Ivan Calderon 1. There's Segura on the left, Calderon on the right. On August 28th, 2010, in Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, Segura defeated Calderon by 8th round knockout. The fight was a classic boxer versus brawler matchup. Calderon initially used his superior technical skills and movement to outbox Segura in the early rounds, but Segura's relentless pressure and devastating bodywork eventually wore the champion down, leading to the knockout. Okay, 2011 Fight of the Year was Victor Ortiz versus Andre Berto 1. Ortiz Berto 1. Arnie said Segura was so much bigger than Calderon. It was unreal. It was like Espinoza versus Rubisi. Different era, yeah. That's so true. Yep. Okay, so yeah. 2011 was Victor Ortiz versus Andre Berto 1. Now, the initial meeting between Ortiz and Berto took place on April 16th, 2011 at Foxwoods Resort Casino in Manchatucket, Connecticut. Now, Ortiz won by a 12-round unanimous decision in a brutal back-and-forth slugfest where both fighters were knocked down twice. 2012. Here's this one. Juan Manuel Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao 4. The fourth and final fight in that 4-fight series. Yeah. The fourth meeting between Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez took place on December 8, 2012 at MGM Grand in Las Vegas. It ended in one of the most iconic and shocking knockouts in boxing history, with Marquez defeating Pacquiao with just 1 second remaining in the 6th round. 1 second. 2013. Timothy Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov. The 2013 clash between Bradley and Provodnikov was staged on March 16, 2013 at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. The early rounds saw the fighters in the pocket, trading power shots. In the second half of the fight, in the second round, Bradley seemed out on his feet, but stayed upright through sheer willpower. The turning point in the fight came when Bradley settled into his superior boxing skills. He then outworked Provodnikov with high volume, combinations, and movement, working his way to a close unanimous decision with scores of 115, 112, and 114 twice. Razor-thin decision in that one. 2014 was Lucas Matisse versus John Molina Jr. Matisse versus Molina Jr. Now, Matisse, one of boxing's best pure punchers, stopped Molina in the 11th round of a thrilling fight on April 26, 2014 in Carson, California at the StubHub Center. They engaged in a bloody 5-knockdown brawl in which Molina was credited with knockdowns in the 2nd and 5th rounds in a losing effort, while Matisse scored knockdowns in the 9th, 11th, and the stoppage. The 8th, 10th, and the stoppage in the 11th round. Okay, 2015 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year, Francisco Vargas versus Takashi Miura. Takashi Miura. Mike Mazik in the building. Everybody know that Mike Grimm's mother just recently passed away. He said he was busy planning her funeral yesterday. So if you're a praying person, keep Mike Grimm and his family in your prayers. Just lost his mother. Okay. But salute to Mike Mazik. Just came in the building. Salute, Mike. We're looking at the rest of the Ring Magazine's fights of the year. And right now it's 2015. Francisco Vargas versus Takashi Miura. Now the matchup between Vargas and Miura on November 21st, 2015 was a great dramatic war. The fight was the co-main event to the Canelo Cotto pay-per-view and famously stole the show. Vargas was nearly stopped in the very first round and trailing on all the scorecards in the middle rounds before he dropped Miura in the 9th with a spectacular four-punch combination. Now, Miura beat the Celt, but he was unable to defend himself, leading the referee Tony Weeks stopping the fight and won 31 of the round. Okay, 2016, Francisco Vargas again. This time, Francisco Vargas versus Orlando Salido. So Francisco was in 2 back-to-back fights of the year. Okay. Now, Vargas versus Salido was fought on June 4th, 2016 at the StubHub Center back in Carson, California, and ended in a 12-round majority draw. The fight was a relentless toe-to-toe war from start to finish, characterized by incredible volume punching and power. Volume punching and power. Okay? 2017, we going all the way to the latest, to the reigning fight of the year from 2025, where we're going to end up at like 8 more years to go. 2017 was Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko, fight of the year. Okay? Now this one, Joshua defeated Klitschko by an 11th round technical knockout in a classic heavyweight title fight on April 29th, 2017 at Wembley Stadium in London in front of 90,000 fans. The fight was a back and forth battle, with Joshua knocking Klitschko down in the 5th round, only for Klitschko to recover and score his own knockdown in the 6th round, very next round, before Joshua rallied in the 11th to secure the victory and win the vacant WBA and IBO titles. And then 2019, of course, was Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin 2, second fight between those two. Canelo Triple G 2. Okay. So the Canelo versus Triple G 2 fight, and they did have a third fight, but they called that second one Final Judgment. They shouldn't have had the third fight because, like Just Do said, it was just a pay-per-view sparring match, that third fight. But the second fight took place on September 15th, 2018 at T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, Nevada. Now, Canelo won the fight by majority decision over 12 rounds, and the fight was a high-level tactical battle. The second fight. Then they unnecessarily had the third fight. Now, this one was yesterday's fight of the day. 2019 fight of the year was Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire won that first fight between them, where Inoue suffered a broken orbital bone in the second round and fought the final 10 rounds of the fight with a broken orbital bone. That's a soldier. Ain't no soldier. That's a warrior there. Now, Inoue and Donaire won took place November 7th, 2019 at Saitama Super Arena in Saitama, Japan. Now, the fight is widely considered one of the best bantamweight battles ever. It was full of intense back and forth action, featuring Inoue battling through the final 10 rounds with a fractured orbital bone. His 11th round knockout of Donaire was a crucial moment in the fight. Inoue prevailed by a 12-round unanimous decision, but a great fight. Now we go to the 2020s. Okay. Fights of the year for the 2020s. Jose Zepeda versus Ivan Baranchyk. Ivan Baranchyk. Now, the Zepeda versus Baranchyk fight on October 3rd, 2020 was an instant classic, known for its incredible action with 8 knockdowns in 5 rounds. 8 knockdowns in 5 rounds before Zepeda won by a knockout with a vicious left hook. Both fighters were dropped multiple times, showcasing immense power and resilience, with Baranchyk dropping Zepeda twice early on, only for Zepeda to rally and finish the fight violently in the 5th round. 8 knockdowns in 5 rounds. Wow. Okay, 2021 was Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. This was and that's not them. Where did I go wrong at? Oh, there they are. That is them. What am I doing? It took a long time to change. There they are. Wilder on the mat there. That's where he ended up at the end of the fight. Now, Fury defeated Wilder by 11th round knockout on October 9th, 2021 at T, with Fury overcoming two round 4 drops. Your Fury was dropped twice in the 4th round to secure the win. Okay, 2020. Taking a long time. There you go. 2022 was Leigh Wood versus Michael Conlan. 2022 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Wood defeated Conlan by a dramatic 12th round knockout. Remember that one? On March 12, 2022 at the Motor Point Arena, Nottingham. Trailing on all scorecards, Wood knocked Conlan out of the ring in the final round to win Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year, and it was the top contender for Knockout of the Year. Yeah, he knocked him through the ropes. And that was the end of it. Conlan was winning too. Yeah, at that point. 2023 is Louis Nery versus Azat Hovhannisyan. Azat Hovhannisyan. Now, Nery defeated Azat by 11th round technical knockout on February 18th, 2023 at the Fox Theater in Pomona, California. Now, the fight was a brutal bantamweight matchup that featured intense back and forth action. 2024. Okay. Fight of the Year was Raymond Ford versus Atabak Khormatov. Ford versus Khormatov. Now, Ford captured the WBA featherweight world title with a dramatic come-from-behind 12th round TKO win against Khormatov. The fight took place on March 2nd, 2024 at the Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York. And the final one, the current reigning Fight of the Year, is Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Won the first fight last year, remember? They had 2 of them. This was the first one. Benn versus Eubank won. Of course, Benn won the second one. Eubank got this one. Now, Eubank defeated Benn by unanimous decision in their highly anticipated April 26, 2025 matchup at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Eubank used a superior jab and ring generalship to win 116-112 on all 3 scorecards in a thrilling encounter. And there you have it. We went through every Ring Magazine Fight of the Year between yesterday and today. Every one of them. Okay. Next week, we're going to look at every fighter of the year. Now, Ring Magazine started Fight of the Year in 1921 when they came into existence. And then 6 years later, in 1928, they started the Fighter of the Year. So next week, we're going to look at the Fighter of the Year. Got to be on Monday because it takes the whole weekend to get those together. And then in the week after that, we're going to look at Round of the Year. Now, that started much later. I think the Round of the Year was like the 70s or something like that when they started Round of the Year. But next week, it's going to be Fighter of the Year. Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year from 1928 all the way up to 2025. Excuse me for 1 second, please. Okay, let's continue. All right, now we're going to talk about March 13th, 1999, the night boxing left the mainstream. Okay? The night boxing left the mainstream. Okay, let's get into that. March 13th, 1999. Okay. Wait a minute. Is that next? We got some boxes that tripped in the politicians too coming up today. What was the last fight of the day? It was Eubank and Ben, right? Okay, that's where we are. I don't know how I got way up there. That's very interesting right there. Yeah, it is Eubank and Ben. Right, that's where we are. Yeah, March 13th, 1999. The night boxing left the mainstream. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. Boxing is just a mess. Just a mess. Let's talk about the night boxing left the mainstream. I'll check the chat first. Well, those likes are looking beautiful. 20 of them. Wow. Okay. Let's talk about it. That's Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. First fight up there, which was a robbery. What about the woman Eugenia Williams? She gave it to Holyfield. Told you round 5, Lennox landed like 30 or 40 punches, and Holyfield landed in single digits. And this judge actually this lady gave the round to Holyfield. She should have had to explain that. Maybe she had a reason, but she should have had to explain that. You know, Outlander ran like 41, but he gets the round. Holyfield gets the round. But March 13th, 1999, the night boxing left the mainstream. Okay? Now, it was probably bound to happen at some point. Boxing had lost a lot of goodwill when Mike Tyson had dined on Evander Holyfield's ear less than 2 years earlier. After all, yet, it was the events of March 13th, 1999 that managed to make an even bigger impact. Sure enough, that was the night boxing effectively left the mainstream, and it only had itself to blame. Although never as dominant as Tyson, Holyfield had bested the man twice, thus making himself the unquestioned king of the heavyweight division. The truth was that the reign of Tyson was over, and Holyfield was now in the position to take things from there. But standing in his way was the towering Lennox Lewis. Lewis was one of the 1990s superstar fighters, but he didn't get the credit he deserved. This has something to do with Riddick Bowe not wanting to fight him, and the fact that his peers could make a lot more money fighting each other. All good things come to those who wait, they say. And that proved to be the case with Lennox. For after finally landing a major fight against one of his equals, Lewis stood on the cusp of being the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. All he had to do was defeat Holyfield. That, however, was no easy task. And while Holyfield had the betting edge, there was no doubt it was going to be a close fight. And a close fight it was, with each man having his moments. It appeared, though, that Lewis had clearly done enough to win, largely through the use of his height and very impressive jab. The decision of the judges, however, ended up putting boxing on his back. Rather than being crowned undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lewis had to settle for a majority draw. And having an undisputed champion would only have benefited boxing, okay? But they called it a majority draw, right? Yeah, that was 2024, y'all. The one before last, him and Komoto. Yeah, I didn't think it should have been, but yeah, it won it, 2024. That was very surprising. Yeah, I thought it was a lot better fights in 2024 than Ford and Comatose. Yup. Yeah, but they called the fight a majority draw between Holyfield and Lewis. So no undisputed heavyweight champion. And this was the sort of thing that boxing absolutely, positively did not need. After the chaotic Tyson era, okay, the sport was looking to continue on as a high-profile affair. It wouldn't be able to anymore, though. Not after the judges handed in their cards that night at Madison Square Garden, right? The fight had clearly not only impacted the boxing world, but on the sports world as a whole. Timothy W. Smith wrote in the New York Times that on this ignominious night, excuse me, no one got what they wanted, least of all Lennox Lewis. Emanuel Stewart, Lewis's trainer, claimed that this is what is killing boxing. The legendary trainer was more correct than even he might have imagined. Was that what was killing boxing? And it's still happening. Boxing had been a sport loaded with questionable decisions and bad leadership. What made 1999 so different, however, was that people had finally had enough. The days of the sport being part of the American conversation were over. There's simply been too many bad decisions, too many insane antics, like Tyson chewing Holyfield's ear, or the time a few years earlier when a man actually attempted to land a paraglider in the ring. Remember that during the Holyfield bullfight? That's too much nonsense. There was the feeling, perhaps, that no one was in control of the sport. And that feeling remains to this day. No one in North America even knows who the lineal heavyweight champion of the world is. That may be an exaggeration, but it sure isn't much of one. Put in the chat, who's the lineal heavyweight champion of the world right now? I don't know. Anybody know? You got to be the man that beat the man. Is it Usyk? He beat Fury. Fury beat Wilder. So yeah, I believe Usyk is lineal. Right? But it takes some thinking. You can't just say definitively Usyk. You got to think about it. Where in the old days, it'd be Ali, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Jack Dempsey, just spit it right out. But now you got to think about it. There was a terrific cruiserweight matchup on Saturday between David Benavidez and Zerto Ramirez, right? Now, aside from rolling pay-per-view ads, there was no buzz outside perhaps Vegas about this fight. That's too bad, but that's a sign of the position boxing has put itself in on that March night a quarter century ago. Now, people that's been huge boxing fans their entire lives, since Holyfield Lewis won, there have been fewer and fewer people willing to talk about the sweet science with. People are fed up with boxing. Look at what's just happened in the last 4 or 5 years. Remember Maxie Priest and George Kambosos? Maxie Priest won at least no less than 10 rounds, but they gave the fight to Kambosos. They was trying to set up Kambosos and Lomachenko. Remember that? And then O'Shaquie and Conceição, they said, Conceição was aggressive. But none of it was effective aggressive, but he was aggressive. So they gave him the fight. And Sandor Martin, Teofimo, I can just reel them off. Boxing has become like the WWF. Okay, and it's bad. It's bad, man. So let's look at some boxers that became politicians. Okay? Some boxers that became politicians, like Maddie and I think it's Vladimir Klitschko. I know it's one of them. We're gonna find out in a minute. I got it written down. I think it's Vladimir. I don't know. We're going to find out. One of the Klitschko brothers became a politician. But I got 10 boxers that after boxing became politicians. Okay. Then the country for today is Venezuela. But let's look at these boxers that became politicians first. Okay. Yeah. That's Holyfield again. Yeah, Vladimir Klitschko is first. I don't know why I had that light on. Yeah, boxers that became politicians. 10 of them. How's everybody? It's just Tuesday. It's too early in this huge week of boxing history. Okay. We got Mike Mazik, Ernie Boxing, Ken Solov One Jaw, Just Do Boxing, Miss Cass. Okay. If this thing speed up, we're going to get to the next subject. 10 boxers that became politicians. One of them going to surprise y'all. Y'all going to laugh because when I saw it, I'd laugh for like an hour. Just wait till you hear this one boxer that became a politician. But let's look at it. 10 boxers that became politicians. Now, at first glance, boxing and politics don't seem to have much in common. Debating policy and jumping rope don't seem to go hand in hand. But it could be argued that most boxers are more equipped to enter the political arena than you think. Boxers need to know how to manage the press if they want to hype a fight, and they need to study their opponents and understand their weaknesses. In this day and age, boxers even need to know how to navigate a wide range of different political organizations. Negotiating a title fight with Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn probably makes Senate reform look like child's play. Maybe then it shouldn't come as a surprise that so many boxers have gotten into politics. So let's take a look at the list. 10 boxers, for better or for worse, went into politics. And the first one is Vitaly Klitschko. Okay? Yeah, we're looking at 10 boxers that went from boxing to politics. And okay, let's see. Some people that came in here. Let's see. Oh man, I can't get the chat. Got to be able to see the chat. Thomas Hill, Azim Shabazz, a couple of heavyweights then came in. Okay. Salute Thomas Hill and Azim Shabazz. Yeah, we looked at every Ring Magazine Fight of the Year for the last couple of days, 1922 to the last one in 2025. Eubank Jr., Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn was the most recent Fight of the Year. One before that was Raymond Ford and Kolmatov. I was surprised when I saw that one in 2024. But now we're looking at 10 boxers that became politicians. And this one man gonna hear y'all laugh. Okay, but salute Thomas Hill and Azim Shabazz. Let's look at these boxers. First is Vitaly Klitschko. I knew it was one of the Klitschko brothers. It was Vitaly. Okay. Now, most boxing fans know Vitaly Klitschko from his fights with Lennox Lewis, Shannon Briggs, and is the only heavyweight champion who reigned in 3 different decades. But lately, Klitschko has been making more news as a member of the Kiev City Council since way back in 2010. And in 2014, he became the mayor of the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. He was also the first pro boxing world champion to hold a PhD degree. And the second was his brother, Vladimir. Okay. All right. The next boxer that went into politics was the explosive thin man, Alexis Arguello. There he is, Alexis Arguello. He went into politics. The three-weight world champion was one of the greats of his era and dominated in the 70s and 80s, having never lost any of his world titles in the ring, only when he vacated and moved up in weight classes. It's no wonder the Ring magazine ranks Arguello as number 20 on their list of best punchers of all time. Arguello was also seen as a hero in his native Nicaragua and was elected mayor of the capital city, Managua, in 2008 at the age of 57. Sadly, only months after his election, Alexis ended up taking his own life. Now, Tommy Douglas, I had never heard of him before this morning, but yeah, he was a boxer once that went into politics. There's Tommy, Canadian. Tommy Douglas. Tommy Douglas is undoubtedly beloved in his native Canada. The former premier of Saskatchewan was voted the greatest Canadian and is remembered fondly as the man who brought universal health care to the country. Canadians may, however, be surprised to learn that Douglas held amateur championships in the lightweight division in 1922 and successfully defended his title in 1923. Another Canadian that went from boxing to politics was Dan Vandal. Okay. He's a current cabinet minister in the Canadian government. He has had, by all accounts, a very successful political career, moving from city councillor of his native Winnipeg to the Canadian Minister of Northern Affairs. Vandal was no slouch in the ring either. He retired with a record of 18 wins, 6 losses, with a 50% knockout ratio. He even fought successfully for the Canadian middleweight title. Now here's the one here y'all don't know about. This man went from boxing to politics. Okay. Went from boxing to politics. Idi Amin. Idi Amin. That had me laughing for a minute this morning. Idi Amin went from boxing to politics. The Ugandan military dictator was always a fighter. And to this day, he's considered one of the most brutal leaders in all of history. During his reign as president of Uganda, human rights groups estimate 100,000 to 500,000 citizens were killed, okay, because of his policies. 100,000 to 500,000 citizens were killed because of Idi Amin's policies. Okay. Oh, bear with me for a minute. Gee, Christmas. Give me 1 minute, please. Yeah, Idi Amin. Yeah, he was a brutal dictator. That's a lot of people. 100 to 500,000 people were killed because of his policies. Okay. Now let's continue. Then we were at 100,000 to 500,000 people were killed because of Idi Amin's policies as the president of Uganda. Brutal dictator. Now, prior to his rise to power, he held the Ugandan light heavyweight title for 9 consecutive years. Maybe he should have stuck to boxing. Idi Amin. He had the title for 9 straight years, Idi did, man. Yeah. Nikolai Valuev went from boxing to politics. Nikolai Valuev, okay? Now, Valuev made his name in the ring for his size, standing at 7 feet tall and weighing upwards of 300 pounds. Valuev is more remembered for being the tallest and heaviest heavyweight champion of the world than for his boxing abilities. Now, despite his skill set, Valuev managed to capture the WBA World Heavyweight title not once, but twice 2 times. Valuev, however, was quick to parlay his fame in his native Russia into a political position. Only 2 years after his retirement from boxing, Valuev began serving in the Russian State Duma in 2011 and defended his position in elections much more successfully. He defended his position in elections in politics much more successfully than he did his heavyweight titles. And the Duma in Russia is equivalent to our Congress, okay? You know, like Congress, senators, representatives. That's what the Duma, they call it the Duma in Russia. It's their Congress, okay? And Nikolai Valuev was a member of that. I don't know if he still is, but he was. Erik Morales, boxers and went into politics. Erik Morales. The Mexican Hall of Famer held titles in 4 different weight classes and had epic rivalries with Manny Pacquiao and Marco Antonio Barrera. Beloved in his native Tijuana, he was elected to Mexican Congress in 2018, just 6 years after his retirement from boxing. Okay? He currently serves on the Committee on Sports. Ruslan Provodnikov. Also a boxer that went into politics. Here's Ruslan. Known as the Siberian Rocky, and remembered for his Fight of the Year war with Tim Bradley. We covered that today, remember? Provodnikov took all his opponents head on. Ruslan wasn't known for his jab, but for his chin, endurance, and will to win. With his fan-favorite fighting style, it's no wonder he gained popularity in his native Siberia. Just a few years after his retirement from boxing, Provodnikov made the jump into politics, and he served as a deputy in the State Duma of the Khanty-Mansi autonomous region in his native Russia. Yeah, in the Russian Congress, called the Duma. And then y'all never heard of this politician, John McCain. He was a boxer once. Remember? John McCain. Passed away now, but yeah, John McCain. Ran for president when Obama first won, remember? John McCain was the opponent. He was a senator from Arizona for decades. The former Arizona senator and Republican presidential candidate was a household name in the United States. Known for his status as a war hero and his nonpartisan appeal. Yeah, he was a POW in Vietnam for years too. Was a pilot, got shot down. And because of his father was a general at that time in the army, when McCain was just a lieutenant and was a prisoner of war, the North Vietnamese offered to let him go, but McCain said no. You used to let everybody in, all the Americans you got in this prison compound go, or none of us leave. And he stayed prisoner until the war ended and got out. Yep. He could have walked out of there, but he said if his other fellow prisoners of war didn't walk out with him, he was staying, and he stayed. He must have been crazy. I would have been, I holler at y'all. I'm gone. But John McCain stayed. Y'all would have been like, I holler. But yeah, that was very commendable of him. But yeah. However, before he jumped into the political arena, he was a lightweight boxer in the Navy. According to his teammates, he was not the most skilled, but he was the most feared. He never gave up. McCain later credited his toughness he developed from the sport in helping him withstand torture as a prisoner of war. He was a boxer before he went to the military. Yeah. And of course, Manny Pacquiao. Everybody know Manny went into politics down there in Jamaica. I mean, not Jamaica, the Philippines. There's Manny. And Manny, 8-weight world champion, is probably not only the most famous boxer on this list, but potentially the most successful politician on this list as well. Okay? Manny has been involved in politics since 2010, even when he was still actively boxing, and has served in the Philippine Senate since 2016. Now, balancing training for world title fights and his political duties didn't seem to be a problem for Pac-Man, given he had 15 world title fights during that time. His political ambitions finally eclipsed his desire to continue boxing when Pacquiao announced his candidacy for the Philippine presidency. Okay, that was just 10 days before he announced his retirement. But he is back. He lost the presidency and came back to boxing. Now, if he would have won the Philippine presidency, no way he would be back in boxing. Their Secret Service, or whatever they call them, wouldn't allow that, because the Secret Service is supposed to protect you. How they gonna let a president get in there to box? Donald Trump went into boxing, I would fight him for free. They wouldn't let nobody, Manny, but he lost the presidency and came back to boxing. Okay. All right, let's get some link time. We had Venezuela as a country for today, but we can get that another. It'll stay the country for the day until we get it in. Right, Venezuela. Okay. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the Ring Magazine's fights of today. That ain't it, because we're going to look at the fights of the year. Every one of them. We're going to look at every fighter of the year next week. Of course, they started naming Fight of the Year in 1922 when the ring came into existence. But they didn't start naming Fighter of the Year until 1928. I don't know why they had the 6-year wait for that, but they did. And we're going to look at every Fighter of the Year starting next Monday. Probably take 2 days again. We're just going to look at the Fighter of the Year and what they did in that year. Okay, to make them Fighter of the Year. That's coming next week. Okay, we're going to get a little link time in today in a moment. Hope all my link people are still in here. RNA Jaw, Thomas Hill usually hit it. Let's see. And then, okay, let's see. Yeah, wait a minute, something ain't right. Always something. Where's okay. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. Try this again. Something didn't look right just now. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, we was going to talk about Venezuela. 100 years of boxing in Venezuela. I think Venezuela started boxing like 1922 or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the country for today. Okay, everybody's welcome to hit the link. We haven't talked about the Inoue Nakatani or Benavidez Zerdo situation yet. But I'm going to start talking about Venezuela. Probably can't get it in. Years of boxing. Yeah, that's he was instructed. You know, he was still boxing. He was 27-0 with 27 knockouts, but then he had beat his wife up one time and got arrested for it, and had beat this other lady up. Family had filed charges against him, and then when he killed his wife, and they had him in jail. Reportedly, he had admitted to it, and then they found him hanging in his cell the next morning. Mm-hmm. What a waste. But he had a motor accident earlier in his life, and they said that affected him mentally. Okay. Fell on his head or something off the motorcycle. But he was never the same after that. But he was a very talented boxer, what he could have been. 27-0 when this happened with 27 knockouts. 100% knockout ratio after 27 fights. A lot of them was early in fights. Manny was running through those 2000s. Manny was the boxer of the year for the decade 2001 to 2000 to 2009. But Manny didn't get in there with Edwin. No, he did not. Edwin would get in there and punish you. And from Venezuela. Okay, let's take a look at it. 100 years of boxing in Venezuela. Okay. There we go. Years of boxing in Venezuela. Oh, what? Okay, Arnie. Man, what the hell is going on here? Let me see. Let me see, said the blind man. Yeah. Where is it? Oh, god damn. It is bad. I'm sorry. Shit. Damn. I'm sorry. I'm up here wasting time. Thank you, Arnie. I thought nobody didn't like me no more. Okay, here we go. Try this one. See what I did. Okay. Now what happened? It didn't even, man, I'm just going to give up on this. Okay. All right. There it is. There's a good one there. Sorry about that. Y'all know about me and technology. What's up, Arnie?
What's up, brother? God bless.
Okay, same to you. How's everything?
Everything good, man. We got some interesting fights coming up. Tomorrow there's a fight in Japan.
What you think about last weekend?
I think.
What you saying?
I think tomorrow there's a fight in Japan very early. I'm gonna try to call that one if I can get.
Oh yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it pro box or something? Or just
no.
Oh, okay.
Keito Nakano, one of the hottest prospects in Japan.
What's his name again?
Mikito Nakano. I'm gonna put it on the private chat. Well,
I'm
on the
not
chat.
familiar with
Chat.
Nikita.
I saw his last fight. He just lost to Risa Ling, the guy that's challenging Leo.
Oh yeah, Lean. Okay.
There's the name right there.
Who's the Lean fighting this week?
Angelo Leo.
Right, Angelo. Yeah.
I was talking about this with Ja. Ja, how you doing, brother? God bless you.
How you doing? God bless you.
Yeah, right.
God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
On the weekend, bro, I saw. I mean, I keep telling people, feel free to disagree, but Naoya Inoue, bro, there's nothing left to say about that boy, man. There's nothing left to say about him. I was actually one of the skeptical ones, especially when he spent all that time without fighting MJ and everything. But that's put to bed, man. And,
let me ask you this: you think they should put him past Usyk, number one?
I would do it. I would do it.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people saying that. Yeah.
And feel free to disagree because Usyk's my guy. I mean, how can you? I mean, we're comparing Ferraris here, right? So there's no wrong
Because a
answer.
lot of people thought Nakatani could do it for a long time.
Me
you
too.
know?
I had
Yeah.
Nakatani by TKO in round 11. That was my official prediction.
Okay.
I mean, props to David, obviously.
Oh man.
Munguia,
I
bro,
didn't
nah.
expect that. Wow. Yeah. He a lot faster than Benavidez, and people give him credit for it too. Them combinations and stuff, man. Wow.
Yeah, sick.
I want to see a
No.
rematch between Nakatani and Inoue.
That would be
I don't
nice.
mind it. I don't mind it.
Me neither. Mm-mm. I thought it would go the distance. I was leaning Monster, but my heart was with Nakatani. But I was leaning Monster.
Were you
Yeah.
guys surprised that it made the distance?
No, I
No.
was expecting it to. Yeah.
Okay, I was a little surprised. Not gonna lie.
You thought Nakatani would get him out of there?
I thought we were gonna have one or maybe two knockdowns.
Yeah.
Apiece. And I thought Nakatani was gonna hit him with something that was gonna be too much, especially considering the fact that Inoue has been dropped with the left hook more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just thought, man, if that's Nakatani hitting him with that, but Inoue showed some serious ring IQ because you saw Inoue go in and then avoid the counters, bro, in such a way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I thought it would have been a lot more action earlier. I didn't think it would have started out like it did. I was surprised by that, the way it started,
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was expecting it to be a little bit more going on early in the fight, but yeah. And anyway, was racking up them, piling up them rounds early, Nakatani
He
couldn't
was the
overcome
favorite
that,
to win, though, wasn't he? Wasn't Inoue the favorite in that fight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I
Rightfully
just think
so.
he's spoiled as a fighter. Like,
You think so?
yeah.
Okay. He said he got one more fight at 122. Y'all think that'll be Bam?
No, I think it should be Nakatani again.
Yeah, I would like to rather see that too. Bam still at 115, ain't he?
Yeah, he got a fight coming up too, so we'll see how that plays out. But I definitely want to see Inoue and Bam. I don't mind the rematch, but you know who I want to see Inoue fight? First of all, I don't want to see him at 126.
Who's that?
I don't think he needs that anyway, to be honest with you. But at 122, you know who he should fight, in my opinion? The guy that just gave Junto Nakatani fits, Sebastian Hernandez.
Oh,
That to me should be.
I think it was Hernandez or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sebastian
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you would like to see Inoue fight him?
I would want to see that, but I think anyway, looking for more big money fights though. I want to see him go up to 126 because I think that'd be his natural. Like 130 to me is his natural weight. I want to see him fight.
Yeah.
Where he got more chance to lose.
He was at that Choo fight, remember?
Somebody. Yeah. I want to see him
That's
fight
where the money at
somebody.
for him though, 126.
If
Yeah.
not, I don't respect
what-
this. I don't respect this legacy that much.
I think
can't
he
go
said
up.
he's gonna go to 126. One more fight.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Bam I don't see that Bam need to fight anyway.
Nah.
Bam should get undisputed first, in my opinion. Bam should get that undisputed at what is it, 115, or I keep forgetting. He took Puma Martinez belt, he took Fumadele
Because
Castro
Eddie
belt.
Hearn said he.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Eddie Hearn said he would see a Bam anyway at 2027. Anyway, ain't gonna wait. Anyway, gonna fight again this year. He fight at least 3 times a year. Maybe 2 more
Yes.
times. Who knows? But He ain't waiting for no 2027 for no Bam. Mm-mm. That's not how he moves. Never have.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Him fighting Bam would be like when Loma fought Rigondeaux to me.
yeah, similar. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't see it. I don't want to see it. I'm like Jaw. I like to see the rematch from this weekend. Him and Nakatani again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it was the
Right at
highest
120.
grossing pay-per-view at Japan by a million miles. Fourth.
Yeah.
I read that it was the fourth highest gate ever in boxing. Period. And why
I
not
can
do it
believe it.
again? Now, if Inoue don't want to get in the ring with Junto again, I get it for sure because you're.
Mhm.
I mean, trust me, this guy. But I mean, Inoue
Yeah.
could retire.
And then
Inoue could
seeing you
retire.
one time too. Yeah.
Inoue could retire right now, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. He's in. 2-8 undisputed.
But he's not ready to
undisputed.
retire,
he's already
though.
in there.
No,
But he
that's
said he got more.
Yeah. He ain't done nothing yet. He got a
He
gift
said he
win
got
over
more to do.
Nakatani.
I want to see him at 126.
He got spoiled with
Mhm.
Nonito Donaire and Stephen, what's his name?
Fulton.
Fulton.
Cool
He ain't
boy.
done nothing yet. Yeah.
Nobody ever did that to Fulton,
Fulton.
Job. You know this. Not even
Yeah.
Oshaki.
Nah, you right.
I want to see him at 126.
Fulton always be in a back and forth fight though. Like he always in a tough fight. That's what he known for. And like Inoue ain't fought nobody that's really been able to test him besides Nakatani.
Everybody
Nonito
fading out.
Donaire.
Me?
The first
Can y'all
one
hear
against
me?
Donaire was pretty good, Job.
Each
The
other?
first one against Donaire was pretty good.
But yeah, I could hear you, Cass. I could
Yeah,
hear
I can hear you
everybody.
too.
But he was supposed to beat Nonito. Like Nonito, he was coming back off of retirement. Like
And he's still going at it. How about that, huh?
so I just
Filipino
give a
flash.
credit to Nonito more than I give that to Inoue for that.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
But he was an old man that just still could fight. He already taken a lot of damage, been in a lot of wars.
True. Against Nicholas Walters, against a lot of people. Yeah, that's right. That's true. I mean, what about MJ Agmadaliev, man? He outclassed him. The dude, everybody said this is the guy that beat you, and he outclassed him. I mean,
Yeah.
I give him that one. I give him Marlon Tapales. I give him Luis Neri, man, getting up and winning the fight. How about that, huh? He's done
Yeah,
some stuff. man.
he's a good fighter though.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he overcredited. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. I just think he overcredited. I want to see him fight a real challenge at 126. If he can't do that, then he bluffing like they
What do y'all
comparing
think you
him.
do with Espinoza at 126?
I think he get exposed like he's supposed to.
I think he gonna have it
It's
tough
like they
up there.
trying to protect him or something, like for no reason.
Yeah.
I wonder
disagree.
what he'd do with Shushu or not even just Shushu, other fighters at 126.
Mm-hmm.
There's the champions at 126. There's
Yeah.
4 of them right now because we got Leo, who's about to defend. We got
Mhm.
Espinosa, who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Shushu, and who's the other one? Figueroa. Okay.
Figueroa, yeah.
I don't think he beats any of those
No.
champions.
It's gonna be tough.
They're all way
Definitely
bigger
not
than him too.
Espinosa.
Like I think it's a little bit unfair.
Yeah,
to ask him
Espinoza is
to go
definitely way
126.
too big for him.
I think it's unfair to ask him to go 126, man. Because I mean,
He
all
said he
the-
was going there. That's what he said, though. I'm going by what he
Yeah.
said.
I-
He said he
I
got
don't
one
think
more.
it's unfair. He barely moved up that much weight. He moved up weight classes, but he didn't move up that much weight.
But Junto, you gotta remember,
And
Junto
that's
was
where the money at.
Junto Nakatani was the one moving up, and Junto was 3 inches taller than him, and I think 2.5 inches
There you
reach
go.
advantage over him. So, man,
Mhm.
that's the way he pulled that off to me. I mean, I don't know. I see your point, but I disagree, my brother. I think this guy is the real deal, man. And listen, I was skeptical about him because, you know, that whole spiel that
Mhm.
MJ and Eddie Hearn did, that they was ducking him and this and that, and what happened in the fight, bro?
Yeah.
Like, he's done it, man. Like, but listen, if he goes to 126, I don't think we'll ever see the Bam fight, to be honest with you, because Bam ain't going all the way up there.
Mm-mm.
Good. We don't need to see that fight. He
Nah.
holding
too
Bam
tough,
back
bro.
from big fights at
Yeah, they
those
got-
lower weights.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That lower weight belonged to Bam, and he should have been moved up to 126 by now.
Yeah, they got weight classes for a reason, and him and Bam don't need to fight.
They talking about him and Bam fighting, and they talking about him and Tank fighting. Like,
Now it'll never. They too far apart. I ain't got
They-
Tank coming down. Mm-mm.
if he
Now,
could
Cass-
move up 2 weight classes, I got Tank fighting him at 130, just like he did Santa Cruz.
If anyway could get to 130, but I don't think we'll
but
ever
Tank-
see him.
But Tank is moving to 140, is he not, for the Pitbull rematch? I mean, that's what I heard.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear
believe
that
so.
he was moving at 140 though.
Or catch weight in between. I heard something about a catch weight. Pitbull might come down a
Maybe
few
if he-
times, and
'cause
Tank
he-
might go up.
Maybe because of the layoff or something. Tank, but the last thing
And I heard
that-
142, Arnie. Like,
Yeah,
The
yep.
last thing that I heard that Tank said for sure is that he could make 130, 135,
Mhm.
or 140. And like, what weight did anyway start at? 115, right?
I think it's even lower than that,
mm,
to be honest with you. Give me a
112,
sec.
I think.
112.
I think it was even lower than that, Cass. Give me a sec.
Might have been 108, but I know it was at 112
Yes,
at one
that's
time.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Give me a sec.
might have been 108.
Yeah, it was 108. It was 108, literally.
Okay.
His
So,
first fight was
108. You talking about a
Okay.
guy and a professional boxer in his whole career, 22 pounds to fight at 130
Mhm.
is too much. And then you talking about reach advantage. He got the reach and height advantage over Tank. Anyway,
You know what?
yeah.
I don't think so, but you might be right. You might be right, because Tank doesn't have the lankiest build.
I'm not
You know,
sure.
he's like a short, stocky.
I'm not sure how tall anyway is. I think he definitely got the reach.
5'5". He's 5'5".
Sure, but I don't know how tall he is though. I think what is Tank?
5'5".
5'5", something like it. What is Tank like? I'm not sure.
I'll tell you.
I know anyway he got the reach. They about the same in height.
Tank is 5'5"
But I
as
don't
well.
see
Yeah,
that fight.
yeah.
I don't
That's
see
what
that
I'm
happening.
saying. That's only 22 pounds. Like Benavidez just moved up 25 pounds.
Yeah, that was
That
impressive.
was one fight. Crawford moved up to 168.
Yeah, but I think that's an
He
unfair
started at
comparison.
136. What's unfair?
Because David Benavidez is built like a rock. And
Huh?
and you know, Crawford.
I think
moved
it's
up.
unfair the other way. Like that other people, they could do more than him and then get less credit. And we give him way more credit than he deserved for doing less. Like he could move up 22 pounds
Oh,
after he done already moved up, and then he fighting people that still that height and reach is not. They don't even have the advantage. Like Espinoza is one guy who was like he just like Fondora in those lower weight class, maybe worse. But like we picking the tallest guy, like a freak of nature in the lowest weight class, to say that's unfair. Then we talking about in the same breath that Bam should move up to fight him. he's spoiled. Like I don't like it.
I see what
He
you're
is
saying,
spoiled
brother.
fighter.
But
He like
you got
Shakur, like he can just do whatever, say whatever, and then it's gonna give him all the credit in the world. Like,
well, Inoue
but
at least has fought, some serious dudes. I would say that. But you got to remember, Ja, like there's one thing. Al McQueen, God bless, brother, and T Hill,
Well, I
same
got
thing.
two
But let me just say
hands.
this
I had
one
both
thing
of them.
before everybody go. Before everybody go, let me say this one thing. You got to remember, Ja. It's not like
We'll
he
get
pulled
4
some
minutes.
sneaky scheme to move up. Now, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, on the lower weights, the difference in weight between the divisions is 3-4 pounds, and when you go up to lightweight and beyond, it becomes 7 or 8 pounds between divisions. That's just the way that it is. It's not like he did some sneaky scheme to move all this weight, and no,
no,
that's
that's
just how
fine.
it
It's
is.
just that you can't give somebody more credit for doing less and then say that it's unfair on the guy. It's way more unfair for somebody like Benavidez to have to move up how he did, or Bud or Tank moving up with his reach and height disadvantage that he be having. That's way more unfair. But like it just pick and choose whoever it is. Like
He
no,
had
ain't
the
nothing unfair about it. Like
he
he
had
ain't
the height and
proving nothing.
reach. He had the height and reach disadvantage against Junto Nakatani, bro. Never forget that. Junto was 3 inches taller than him and about 3 inches reach advantage than him, and he was the guy moving up. So I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know. Listen, it is interesting, but Anne McQueen is here.
I
Yeah,
don't
let's see
even
what
get what
Thomas Miller
that.
and
I don't
think
really
about.
get what that mean though. Like I don't
because
get
you're
the
saying
point of
because
that.
because you're saying that he had all these advantages over his opponent when
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like you saying it's unfair. Like when it's not. Like I feel like it's more unfair where you pointed out the difference. It's more than just a couple pounds or two when you get higher up in weight. And like he got advantages over Bam and stuff like that. People we asking to move up. And then they really taking the anyway and tank fight serious. And then when you look at it, far as you saying like height and reach advantage, it's not no big difference in that. It's just like he just been protected. That's all it sound like. Then we picking out specific people who got height and reach advantage, like Nakatani or Espinoza, like just to say it's not fair for him. Like he don't have to take no real risk in his legacy then. And then he get to go down as a first ballot.
Thomas Miller and Ant, what y'all think?
I think he has taken risks because there were certain fighters, like for the longest time, he was getting quite a bit of flack for not fighting MJ, and then he fought MJ, and we saw how that went. Luis Neri was like what 36-1 when he fought him.
Mm-hmm.
Scooter, prior to the fight, it sounded more like a 50-50 matchup on paper. It was supposed to be different, but it didn't go that way.
Mm-hmm. His first fight at 122 was a unified champion. Wasn't Cool Boy's first fight in the division? I think.
I
Yep.
believe so.
So,
Yeah, he did it. Mm-hmm. So
Yep.
I think he's
And he
taking
got
risks.
Cool Boy when Cool Boy was undefeated. Never forget that, okay?
Yeah. Two
I mean,
division,
but here's the thing, though. Is like when you look at all of these guys' circumstances, you can always place a little asterisk here and there because this guy, his weight issues were well documented.
Mm-hmm.
Cool Boy, he's cutting down from 160 something all the way down to 122. Hell, we seen him at 130, his second fight there.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? He missed weight against Oshaki Foss. He ended up missing weight. Or was that his first fight? That was his first fight at 130, if I'm not mistaken. And he ended up missing
I
weight.
think it was his first, yeah.
And then they turned around and tried to salvage the matchup by making it for the 135 interim WBC.
Right.
So if you have intimate knowledge of the circumstances, you can
It's not
twist
even
it this
about
way,
like
twist it that way.
discrediting.
So,
It's
but
not
I
even
think that all
about
in all,
discrediting anyway, like or like putting an asterisk next to everybody. It's the fact that for sure, when it comes to other fighters, you definitely gonna put an asterisk next to their name. When it comes to anyway, it's like protect them, protect them, protect them. Like it's
not true at
weird.
all. It depends
It's
on who you
weird.
ask, Job. Because if you go on various platforms, you have people who are questioning a lot of things about anyway. How come he don't fight in the United States? And then if you talk about the financial side of it, like yo, he's packing 55,000 people in the Tokyo Dome on a random Tuesday. It's like, what sense does it make for him to fight over
Yeah,
here at the Fountain
that
Blue or
stuff
something
it
so silly like that?
that to me is like disingenuous because it's definitely not comparable to fighters where you definitely going it's going to be a whole lot of criticism, like the stuff that you comparing to it with anyway what people were saying
It's
is
not just
light,
that though. Also the
it's
hand
light
wraps.
work.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? But also, people were taking issue with the way in which he wrapped his hands. But
right,
why this
he
cap? You
could
can
get
wrap your hands.
accusations like that,
Yeah,
like
but you can
hand
wrap
wrap
your hands the
accusations
same
like
way. You could wrap your hands the same way in Vegas too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's about protecting them. Like, ain't no other fight. Certain fighters, it don't even matter if you wrap their hands a certain way or not. Like, just for something like that to come up, it'll be a devastating. That'll just be what it's mainly about. With anyway, it's like just what you said. Like, oh, let's find a reason to justify it. Like, oh, you could do that in
No, people
Vegas.
weren't justifying it. This is what I'm saying to you.
No, I'm
He got a
saying
lot of
you
flack
like
for
you
that.
just did. Like you just said, like you
No,
could
no,
do the
no,
same
no.
thing in Vegas.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you
With
is
other
the
fighters,
same
you
way that
don't
you're
get
saying
that
that he's
same defense.
protected, the same way that I'm saying the same way that you're saying that he's protected. What I'm saying to you is it depends on who you ask. It depends on who you talk to. Because I've heard many of people criticizing for various things. Even if there was accusations about him being dirty because he was upset about the time when the timing in which the people from Vada came to collect the sample. And then there was
No, if
all types of
I
smokes and mirrors, and I mean not smokes and mirrors, but like smoking guns about that. Like,
yeah,
oh,
that's all
why
it
your
be
man
for
is
me.
real?
Like it be smoke and mirrors when it come to certain fighters. Like and when it like you comparing like defending certain fighters like. It ain't no comparison when it comes to anyway and other fighters moving up, whatever accusations, whatever you want, take it like it's a big difference. And it's to me it's real obvious, even when it comes to like pound for pound rankings, like and we talk about how many weight classes he moved up. It's like how much weight has he really moved up? And how does that translate to higher weight classes that like we saying that it's unfair for him to fight at when it's not unfair though. Like we
Well,
giving him an
he's moved up the
excuse.
same as everybody else. If we keeping it a stat, Tank
Not
started at
not we
what
not keeping it a
126.
stat. We not because
But
it's a
listen,
different
listen.
disparity. It's a different like when you moving up in those lower weights, it's a difference between the weight and size. So that's not keeping it a stack to me. That's
How not?
smoking
If it's the
mirrors.
same amount of, if it's the same, if it's a similar amount of divisions. Like let's use Tank for
Yeah,
example. Tank started
that's
at
what I mean.
126 and he's
That's why
fought
I
as high as
wanna
140. What is that?
right.
That's 14 pounds.
That's what I want.
Anyway started at 108,
Right.
and right
We
now he's at
talking about,
122. What is that?
but
14
we talking
pounds.
about Tank. We talking like you brought up Tank, and I want to answer that. You said that's the smoke and mirrors right there. Is
How so?
why? Because I'm about to answer you. So you said, oh, when it's been a similar amount of weight divisions, that's
Yes,
the
Tank has
smoke.
moved up
Hold
4.
on. Let me answer what you saying. So that's what I mean. That's the smoke and mirrors. And then specifically using Tank, it's other fighters that you could use. Like the smoke and mirrors part is similar amount of weight divisions. Then if we talking about Tank specifically, there's no way you would say that Tank in the same way that somebody say if Anyway retired now, he a first ballot Hall of Famer. What about what Benavidez just did? He just moved up 25 pounds in harder divisions. How could Anyway be ranked pound for pound higher than a lot of fighters that's fought at heavier weight classes, and they fought at weight classes similar to the low weight classes you fight at? Like when it comes to pound for pound, he's not really proven to me that what he does at those smaller weight classes would transition into higher weight classes. That's a big difference between Tank and anybody else that you want to compare to him. And the weights is not, it's not the same amount of weight moving up. That's why it could be so close, like in the same, like you saying they moved up a close amount of weight. But like I'm not even comparing him to Tank in that way anyway. I was just saying when it comes to height and reach advantage, if Tank was to move up, nobody said that it's unfair. And when it comes to moving up, period, like somebody could move up one weight class and then they trump all the weight that Anyway has moved up in all his weight classes. Like it's not that much weight that he's moved up. So his pound for pound ranking is overrated to me because he's fighting at the smaller weights.
So we would have
And
to
he
say that about
comparing to
anybody
Manny
who's going
Pacquiao.
from 135 to
No, we
147.
wouldn't.
How
We
so?
wouldn't have
135 to
to.
147 is only
Because it's
12
different.
pounds.
It's
That's
different
12
weight
pounds, though.
classes, but it's different when it come down to the science of weight and then the challenges at those heavier weight classes. So no,
Yeah,
we wouldn't have
but it's
to
still
do that.
relative, though. It's still
It's like,
relative.
yeah, it's something that you could make an argument for, but it's not something definitive to say like, oh, for sure that's what makes it the same. Like where we could apply that to anybody. Like, no, we can't. It's a difference. That's what making it not keeping it a stack to me. Like it is a difference, the weights that Anyway is campaigning that and him moving up. It's a big difference between you said moving up from 135 to 147. It's a huge difference in that.
Okay, we're back.
What makes it a
Sorry
huge
about that.
difference if we're only talking about 12 pounds versus 14 pounds? What's the difference
Because
between one?
when it come down to science, the difference in weight when you moving up from those weights versus moving up from like 108 to 115 to 122, that's different when it come down to like the physics of it. And then when you're talking about competition, like you could experience a lot, if not all of the same type of competition from that 130 135 weight area, and then you experience stuff that you could only experience with like heavier guys when you get up to like 147 that Anyway wouldn't be able to experience unless he moved
Why
up.
they call it pound for pound.
But you're blaming a guy for being 5'5", man. Basically.
No, I'm not blaming a
This
guy
guy's
for
called
But
that.
then
pound
there's
for
That's
also
pound.
not
but there's
nothing
also
that I'm
other things
doing.
at the smaller weight
Cause
classes
Tank
that these
Tank
guys
is somebody who's
do.
not that tall and don't got that much reach. I ain't doing that at all. Like I'm not just blaming no guy for being short is what you basically saying. Like that don't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm saying that his pound for pound status is overhyped, overrated, and it's disrespectful to other fighters.
Damn. We got like 3 or 4 legends in this resume
But that's
already.
just my opinion. Like politics can't get anybody to say anything. So I don't care who wanna vouch. They got it on. They saying it on Ring Magazine, something that's supposed to be respected. And obviously, they pound for pound list is disgraceful for who they are. Like, so that
But what
don't
exactly makes it
move me.
disgraceful? Now, I will say this as far as politics. I will say this as far as politics. I'll say this as far as politics are concerned. When it comes to politics, that plays a huge part in who gets granted what opportunities,
Yeah.
and that's a huge
What makes
part of what
they
makes up somebody's resume.
what makes Ring Magazine pound for pound list disgraceful?
Yeah.
That's what you're asking. Like
Yes.
one thing is like oh I'm looking at with Devin Haney and T.O. and Max Kellerman, Shade McCoy talking about it, and it's like look what they did with where they got Brian Norman on there, where they got him ranked at 147, and look what Devin Haney said he would have to go through. Meaning, for him to be ranked higher, he would have to beat Brian Norman again, and then they got Devin Haney like lower than Shakur on there. Shakur fought one fight versus T.O., which gave him the status he got. They got Benavidez. I don't know where they put him at.
But it wasn't just that one
But
fight though. That one fight is the
it was that
culmination.
one fight. It
No,
was
no,
that
no, no,
one
no.
fight.
Let me
Like,
explain to you. That was Shakur's fourth division being a champion. Devin Haney
yeah,
is only 3. 135,
right.
140,
So
and
to me,
147.
it's like it's disgraceful because like you just looking at oh he went like anyway. I guess he number one because he moved up 5 divisions, right?
Not just that, but NUA's also did something that's very rare in this day and age, which is after he became undisputed, he's actually defended it. How many people have defended it?
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm asking about he moved up 5 weight, so that justify him being number one.
That's a part of it, but it's not the
I
whole
respect
of
it
it.
because
Not only that, John. Not only
It's not
that.
the whole of it.
And then Usyk will be number 2 based off of what? How many weight divisions did he move up?
The only 2 that he could move up, cruiserweight to heavyweight. There's no other that he can move up to.
And
But
then
they've been undisputed
how
in
many?
both of
How
them.
many? And then he got undisputed. And
In both
then
of them.
Benavidez moved up how many weight?
Didn't he start at
I think
60 or 68? I can't
154.
He
remember.
started 68,
154.
3.
154, I think.
And Devin moved up how many
54?
weights?
3.
Yeah, I think he fought Gabriel.
And it's just like, okay. So anyway, he defended his title, or he defended undisputed, right? That's what you're saying.
Multiple
And
times.
then right, he defended undisputed multiple times.
In more
So
than
he
one
just
weight class at that.
right, and
Everybody
more
they
than one.
always say he can beat him. He always fights him.
Crawford
I
didn't do
respect
that.
him. A lot of fighters
like
don't do that.
when
Every time they
when
say
we
somebody
talk
can
about
beat anyway, he fights him. You know,
when we
you
talk
gotta
about
respect.
somebody saying that everybody say he could beat him, like
Yeah,
y'all could miss me with that part though. Like I'm not worried about
a lot of
like
fighters
when I
don't do that
say
though,
when I
John.
say when I say I want to see him move up to 126 and fight Shushu, I hear people saying that's unfair. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear both things at the
It
same
depends on
time.
who you talk
And
to,
then
though.
like
Again, it
and then
depends
when
on who
it
you're
come
talking
to
to.
Yeah,
I'd like to see
right,
it
yeah.
too. I'd like to
Let me
see
say
it too.
this. Let me say this.
Oh,
Let me say
God.
to you. Let me say this to you, Gerald. This is how I see it.
Uh-huh.
David Benavidez, I get it. He moved up whatever pounds. I get it. He beat a guy 34 years old that had 1 loss. This guy fought a guy 28 years old in his absolute prime that's been murking people, that was undefeated. And the guy that you're calling overhyped is the guy that beat the dude 28 years old that was undefeated.
Mhm. You saying he been murking people? It's like that's
He got knocked out of the year.
that's your gaslighting it though. Like
Did Zurdo have a
and
knockout like
for me,
Nakatani's
for
knockout
me,
to
like
Maloney?
I'm fine with what you're saying, but I'm not fine with like trying to like wash away what I'm saying. Like when it comes to Benavidez specifically, like he done damn near fought everybody except for the people who wasn't trying to fight him, and he demolished them in multiple weight classes. And it was not no close wins that he got. It was clear victories where like, damn, he destroyed these guys. That's pound for me. That's just my perspective. Like, other
And don't
stuff
they
is
have him ranked
smoking.
at 5 right
The
now?
other,
In the
Anthony Yard,
updated
the other
Anthony
stuff
Yard
is
had
smoke. That's what
Anthony
I'm
Yard had
saying.
3
Like
losses, bro. Anthony Yard had 3 losses when he
that's
faced
what I'm
David.
trying to say. Like when I'm saying what my perspective is, it don't need to be washed away. Cause like it's too much of that smoke and mirrors perspective. Like, oh, it was this amount of weight classes, like, which is not a big difference between 108 and up to 115. That's not really a big difference at all. Like, and then
That's
the
the same thing
guys
as
on,
going from what's the name though? If
that's what
once
I'm
again, it's
saying.
the same from
It's
108 to
not
115 is the same
it's
thing as
not
going
the same thing.
from 140 to 147.
No, it's not. It's not the same
It's
thing.
7 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
It's 7 pounds, and
Yeah,
it's all
that's
relative.
not
Yeah. You're
that's
gonna
not the
have
same
different. You're gonna
thing
have
though.
different. How is it
That's
not though?
not the
Because it's
same.
all
I could
relative.
explain why. That's what I'm
There's a
saying. When I'm
different set of
saying something,
challenges that
it
both
don't.
guys have to. There's a
You
different set of challenges
asking
that each one is
questions,
subjected
but
to.
you don't want to hear the answer unless I'm agreeing with you. Like I'm
No,
not
I don't want you
agreeing
to
with that.
agree. I don't want you to
You
agree with me.
asking
What
me
I'm
a
saying is
question
7
though,
pounds is 7
and you're
pounds.
not
If I give
letting
you
me answer.
7 pounds of sugar and I give you 7 pounds of rock, 7 pounds is 7
Right,
pounds.
you just keep on saying stuff without you never want me to answer the question, so that lead me to think you just want me to agree with you. Like,
No, I
no, I
don't.
don't. I can
I don't want you
answer
to
your
agree with
question.
me.
You saying how is it not, but you not letting me say nothing to that. So why you
Because you're not
can't
saying
do
nothing
that?
except saying that I'm not saying
I
nothing. That's all you keep
no,
saying.
I'm
Get to the
trying to
point.
say something and you look, you trying to tell me get to the point instead of just listening. Listen, don't say nothing while I'm trying to respond to your question, right? It's not the same moving from 140 to 147, even though it's the same amount of pounds, because you would never have somebody at 115 um making weight coming up from 160, 165. That's a big difference.
Hmm. Let's get
So
Thomas
there,
on
there go an
board.
answer to that. There go your answer to that. Why it's
Yeah,
not
but
the
what I'm
same,
saying to
even
you
though
is
7 pounds of sugar and
each
7 pounds
each
of
each
cotton,
each weight
fluff.
class and each move presents his
That's
own
all
different set
smoke
of
and mirrors,
challenges.
man. That's all
They all
smoke and
present a
mirrors.
different set of challenges, and not only that, but you do have some guys that are
That's my whole
hell.
point.
Cool Boy was cutting down from 160 to
That's my
122. To
whole
your
that's
point
my
that you
whole
just
point.
made, Cool Boy
No,
was cutting down from 160
you
to
don't know
122.
that. You just saying that.
He said it out of his own mouth in an interview.
You don't know that. You
He
just
said
saying
it. He said
whatever,
it himself.
man.
I'm taking that man's
And
word for it.
that's what I'm saying. Like you try and use
Ja,
my point to disagree with me.
No, no,
Like
no,
that's
no.
my
What I'm
whole
saying to
point.
you is
It's
that it does
different.
happen, and we don't know
It's a
what these guys are
difference.
cutting from.
It's a difference between nobody's cutting down to 115 from 165. No, they're not.
But they
Nobody's
can't have
doing
that
that.
weight
Ja,
class.
Ja, you gotta understand something as well. David's last 2 opponents had 4 losses between the 2 of them. Naoya Inoue's last 2 opponents had 0 losses.
I
0.
don't need to understand that. That's
Okay,
not something that I
okay.
need to understand. That's more smoke and mirrors, man.
It is the truth
That
though.
I understand why I need to. It'd be more about smoke and mirrors than it do
But
about
how is he
reality.
not taking risks when his last 2 opponents were undefeated? How is he not taking risks?
No, I ain't saying he not taking risk at all. Like just getting in the ring is taking a risk. I'm saying when we talk about, well, if you fight somebody they say that could beat him, then he always fight him and beat him. Like, no, he don't. I saying Shushu or wash him. I
But
said
they in
Loma.
different weight classes,
Why
y'all.
why we gotta keep saying something when I'm making my point? Like Bam is in a different weight class. Nakatani moved up from a different weight class. That's all smoke and mirrors too. I'm saying somebody could beat him
Damn.
and he ain't and we responding as if it's unfair. So that means he don't have to take a certain risk in his legacy. He could retire now, first ballot, but he
He said
not
he's going
ready.
to 126 though.
He
He
not
said he was going
ready.
to 126 anyway. So we'll see when he gets
Exactly.
there.
Exactly. So if we see him fight Espinoza, if we see him fight Shushu, if we see
He
who
will.
Who the other champions at 126?
Leo, Figueroa.
Yeah, I don't think he could beat none of them. That's what I'm saying right now.
Ja, do you want David to fight Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Usyk and
Yeah,
Musutama?
I'm the one who was saying that when everybody was giving me hell. I'm saying I want David Benavidez to move up the heavyweight. Why is he forget about Canelo? You the man. Move up the heavyweight. Everybody was talking about, nah, he can't do that. He gonna get knocked out. His power ain't gonna do this. And then this ain't gonna happen. Like, man, come on. I know I'm recorded saying this stuff. Like, I've been saying, David, move up the heavyweight. You've been a heavyweight since you was in middle school. And he still got more room. He still got more room to get in shape. Like, I've been on that, and it's fine what y'all saying. It's smart, you know, but it's mostly smoke and mirrors. Like, I just don't want. I don't want that. Like, it's no balance to that, and that's what's frustrating about boxing to me. Like, just trying to protect specific just for the politics thinking, like, all money is good money and stuff like that. That's not. If it's bad money, that's bad money. If it's good money, that's good money. It's not all money is good money. All attention is good attention. No. If it got attachment bad on it, then that makes it bad attention.
Let me ask you this, Joe. What more can a fighter do in this weight class to become undisputed? What else can he do?
Who?
To win all 4 belts.
Who, anyway?
He done cleaned out 2 weight classes, man.
What are you talking about?
Can
What
you do than that?
cleaned out? Who
He been
is
undisputed
like where he
champion in 2
cleaned
weight
out?
divisions. I'm
The
not
fact
talking
that
about who was
he's
in them,
even
but he beat he won all the belts in both of them. So, you know.
Devin won all the belts in one fight against Cambosis.
But that's Devin.
I don't.
That's a different story.
It's smoke.
Yeah,
That's
we're talking about
right
anyway.
now. It's different now. We can't attach the same. That's exactly what I'm saying.
You
He's
don't get a man
protected.
no
He's
credit for being
spoiled, man.
undisputed in 2
I
weight
don't.
classes.
I'm not giving him no credit. That's not what I'm doing. Like, the same way I said with Shakur. Like, I think his biggest test has been Nonito Donaire, somebody he was supposed to retire, and the credit to me go to Nonito for that. Stephen Fulton, I give him all the credit for that, regardless of what Fulton complication was. He beat Stephen Fulton though.
Bad.
Like, but right,
Looking
he
like a
beat him.
stepchild.
Okay, and he beat him bad, and I feel like because he beat him, then we overhyped Stephen Fulton.
A 2-belt unified
See,
undefeated
that's a problem. That is one of the problems that I have with a lot of boxing analysis. We don't need to shit on a guy. We can just
It's
credit this
nobody
other
that I'm
guy. That's
shitting
it,
on.
bro.
I'm not even shitting on.
It
I was
doesn't
just
mean
like,
there's
I
a
was
reason
saying
why.
something I think it's hard to take.
Let me just finish real quick. Nobody to this day has done that to Fulton, and there's a reason for that. So don't you think that that just right there tells you a lot about Inoue, his greatness? The fact that nobody to this day have been able to stop Fulton like he.
And if it's so easy to be undisputed in 4-belt area in 2 weight classes, why is there only 5 fighters that did it in the history of boxing?
Look, that's another thing that I wanted to touch
fighters
on.
have done that.
That's another thing that I wanted to touch on. It's pretty much no way you'll be able to do that without having some type of connection, like, in your favor.
Oh.
No, that I do agree with. That's why I said the politics. If you want to talk about the politics does have a hand in who gets certain opportunities. I agree with that 1,000%.
Disagreeing. I look
No. I'm saying I agree with that.
I wanted to speak on the whole conversation in this environment that I'm in right here, like with y'all on the panel and talking, and we talking. Like, this is a safe space for me to express this stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like hard to take. If I was on somebody else's panel, they would try to like massacre me for saying any of this stuff. Like, so that's I'm not even tripping off of that. It just like That's what I'm seeing. Like, man, anyway, overly protected. I feel like Shakur overly protected. I'm not
Unbelievable.
saying they don't do nothing. They not great fighters. It just like, yo, how you getting all this credit and then somebody else, anybody else, they get discredited for the same stuff. Not just
Like, give an
Tank.
example of somebody
Like
being
just the whole
discredited.
like if Shakur, like Tio lost to Cambosis, right?
Yeah.
Devin beat Cambosis and got undisputed
Nice.
or whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it, right?
Yeah.
But Tio did the like where he got the Ring magazine, like he did other stuff, but Devin had did other stuff too. But when it came to Devin beating Cambosis, it was like, man, you beat Cambosis. That was the narrative behind that. Like it wasn't nothing. And when it comes to Shakur beating Tio, which Cambosis beat him before Shakur did, and Cambosis dropped him. And it just giving Shakur all of this super credit. Like, and I just don't feel like he been tested to be considered pound for pound. And I don't believe it's because he's not allowing nobody to test him. I just don't believe he been in there with the opponents that is even supposed to test him in that way.
Yeah, I agree with you on Shakur, 100%.
See, but
And
that's
with
difficult to say because when you see
he
certain
fought
other
good
certain
fights,
opponents,
but
like let me
only
just say this
because
real
he's
quick, y'all, as
little.
far as
If
that's
he was a
concerned.
heavier,
I've seen certain guys that have been in there with Shakur, like Robson Conceição, right? For
Mhm.
example.
Yeah.
Did you see Robson Conceição fight Emmanuel Navarrete,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
who just beat Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Eduardo Nunez? Out
Yes.
of Sugar
Yes, he
Nunez?
did.
Good.
Yes, he
He
did.
whooped Sugar.
Yes, he did.
Mhm.
Robson Conceição, would he fight him to like a draw or something like that?
Yeah. Draw.
Shakur made that fight look easy. So
Right.
sometimes you got to look at the resumes and really know who was fighting who and what they did at the time. Like even with Valdez at the time, Valdez was on a hell of a roll. Valdez knocked out the dude who was supposedly the boogeyman at the time, Miguel Burchell.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur
Yes.
wasn't supposed to beat.
that's
He
when
wasn't supposed to beat
Valdez
Valdez
popped
that
dirty,
easy.
right?
Not like that. That's right.
Nah, to me, Shakur could have beat Valdez 4 or 5 fights prior to that. That's how I seen it. It wasn't no test to me. It wasn't like, oh, it was to me. It was all about yes, Shakur getting a big name fight, not oh yes, this gonna be a test for Shakur. Now like Shakur could have been fought some like when it come to Keyshawn, okay, they brothers, but if Shakur would have fought Keyshawn
Mhm.
and he would have made it look easy the way he did with other people, then it would be no doubt in my mind I could get him pound for pound number 1. If he fought Gary Antoine at 140,
That's what I
Richardson
want to see.
Mhm.
Hitchens at 140, and he
Nice.
makes it look easy.
I think
The way
Well,
that
let
he
me-
says, I would give him at least pound for pound number 2 in my pound for pound.
Mhm.
But
Right, but see what you're
everybody
saying,
else who
John,
he
like-
fought is nothing to me. Like not nothing to me. It's
Mhm.
not. I'm like he gonna beat them.
Yeah, we
There
get
was
what
no
you're saying.
doubt.
Right. Well, let me piggyback on what Ann was saying and what Ja was saying. So that's part of the big problem that I have with Shakur Stevenson, right? So let me make an analogy here. Shakur Stevenson, yes, I get it. Hardest fighter to hit. I don't think there's any debate on that nowadays. Okay, all of that. The problem is I got 6 names off the top of my head that I need at least 2 of them for you to fight, and we're not getting it. Murataya, Oshaki, Russell, Tank, Keyshawn, and Devin, right? Just off the top of my head. We're not getting any
Shaki
of
and
those.
Murataya is not
But
it
hold on,
for me.
but hold
That
on,
ain't gonna
But
do
hold
it.
on. Those are the 6 dudes that to me could make it at least interesting against them. We're not getting none of those. That's
But
the
Arnie-
problem with Shakur, in my opinion. Now,
But
Naoya
Arnie-
Inoue. Now, let me just finish real quick,
Yeah.
please. Naoya Inoue, there was 2 dudes, at least from my opinion, that we thought could beat him. MJ and Nakatani. He got through both of them.
But
Who is
Arnie, what you was
MJ?
just saying about
Who is
Shakur,
MJ?
they
Like,
was saying that about Tio before he fought him. He was on that list that you named.
Not
No.
He want
me.
to secure the
No,
fight.
I was never
no,
thinking
that's
that.
a
Like,
layup for Shakur, man. That's
He
a
was on
layup.
some
Yeah.
people's list of those names, though. T.O. was one of them that they wanted to see him
Nah,
fight.
nah, not to me.
that's just a name
I'm
fight.
saying not to you,
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah. I got
When we
the
think
six that I
about
mentioned.
Styles and
The
T.O.
six,
already losing
the six
the
that I
way he
mentioned.
did, like,
You
yeah.
need to.
Yeah,
give
well,
me
I
at
mean,
least
so then
two.
why would you want to see Gary Antoine then? Because Gary Antoine already lost to Alberto Puello.
now why would one see Gary Antoine lose? Alberto Puello, I would rather see him test Shakur than Muratwaya or Oshaki. I don't think that's real test. Maybe Muratwaya, but like Oshaki not a real test for Shakur to me. Gary
It is.
Antoine would be
Yeah.
a real
with
solid
that.
pressure fighter that's
Yeah.
smart with experience that I would give if Shakur made it look easy. Well, damn, you made that look easy, which is hard for anybody to do on Gary's worst night.
Hell, Gary looked shaky in his
Cause,
last fight versus Andy
'cause
Hiroki.
Yeah, he
Keeping it
did.
stacked.
Yeah, he did.
he won, right?
So I mean, who has he beat
And
that will give you the impression that Gary is supposed
that
to
was
be
a
like
title defense. That was a
this
Valenzuela.
title
test,
defense.
this
Valenzuela.
test that Shakur.
I said, key, cause I'm not even naming like certain fighters. I said, if he was to fight Keyshawn and made that look easy, the way Keyshawn made Ortiz look easy, or Richardson Hitchens at 140, this is fights he could take at 140. Or Gary
Hitch is not fighting at
Antoine.
140 no more. He's going to 47.
So he could still get a fight at 140 with Hitchens
And he just signed with Zuffa, so the likelihood of that happening is
Yeah,
probably
all
out of the
right. So
question.
that might not be
Yeah.
likely.
Take him off the list.
You asking me who would I give him credit for? I'm not even shooting for the stars. Like, I'm talking about Keyshawn. He was to fight him and make it look easy. And he was to fight Abdullah. Like, he gonna go down to 135. Like, it's a fight Oshaki or something. Like, I don't want to see that. Fight Abdullah. Make that look easy. He a young up and comer. Make that look easy. Make Gary, and I said Gary Antoine. Like, I'm saying who, and I give him pound for pound number 1 or 2 if he made any of them fights look easy.
But then if you make Abdullah look easy, you're gonna say, well, he was inexperienced.
No, I'm not gonna say that. He asking me what my perspective is. I would never say that. He
Yeah.
asked me who is it? Somebody like that. If you make those fights look easy, there you go. For
I don't
me,
think he needs.
it's
I
over
don't
for
think,
me.
I
I don't
don't,
got nothing, no questions. I just want to see who you fighting next. That's it.
I don't
But
think
all
he
this
needs,
other stuff is smoke and mirrors.
But I don't think he needs to make it look easy. He just listen. Not every fight is gonna be easy, man.
No, like
you know.
you can't. He can't make it look easy because Floyd couldn't make it look easy when he fought Zab Judah, and that's the type of fights these caliber fights is.
Right. Even
Ain't
Floyd
no
had
way
his
he
wars,
can make
you
it
know?
look. That's what I'm saying. It's smoke and mirrors when it comes to that. Like, you can't do that with them. That's just not how it works in boxing. He can't make a fight with Keyshawn look easy. He can't make a fight with Hitchinson look easy. Like, he not about to look like he did versus Jamel Herring.
I
when
don't
it
think
come to them.
I'm not gonna give him any credit for Hitchens, man. I don't know why people bring up that name. Hitchens gotta give me something, bro. Hitchens hasn't really done anything, to be honest with you, except beating Cambosos with Loma, which Loma already did.
How many
Stop
title
him from-
defenses Hitchens got in the toughest where he
One against
at the
Cambosos.
IBF
he
with
got
the
one.
IBF belt he only got one title defense.
Right,
Yeah.
and he pulled out of Duarte, bro. He pulled out of
Mhm.
Duarte.
He
Make it
won.
make
He
sense.
won versus Paro. Then he got the one defense versus Cambosos.
Yeah, I was there in that fight.
That's fine with me. That make it. I chose Hitchens. If he was to fight Hitchens, if they could make that fight happen somehow, and he should be able to make that fight look easy then.
That
I
one,
think he
yeah,
will.
he should be able to make it look
I
easy.
think he
That one,
will.
yes.
I think that's a 50-50 fight, and Hitchens might got the edge.
I think Shock is better than you think he is, Ja, with all due respect.
No, I understand why you saying that because of how I'm speaking, but no, Shock is extremely good to me. He just not that for me when it comes to Shakur.
Oh, okay,
Shakur
okay.
is like a
Gotcha.
heavier version of him. Like the way they talk and all of this talk, it's just for publicity and stuff. The way they trying to disrespect Ray Ford, it's just like Oshaki is like a smaller weight division version of Shakur. Pretty much to me, he got a little more sauce to his fighting style, like, and I think he only won a fight with Shakur because it's a big fight. Like, he not even really making his way up there to really earn the fight with Shakur. If this was sooner, when Shakur was campaigning at those lower weights, that would make sense. But it didn't even make sense at that time for some reason. Now it's just like it just for the hype to me. I don't look at that as that's not going to do nothing for me if Shakur go in there and he wash. Oh, I got Shakur beating Oshaki 12 rounds to none, like a shutout.
I agree.
I don't know if that wasn't him, if that familiarity that they have with one another, if that carries over to the fight.
That's more in the favor of Shakur. Oshaki always wait to the last minute to push his foot on the gas. And
Maybe
Shakur
or maybe
Shakur
not.
gonna
Because
tear
both
that
guys
up
are
all
on
day.
record saying that Shock was getting the better of in sparring. So that's what makes it
Yeah,
intriguing too. The fact that these guys got history with each other. And they know each other.
I'm fine if they make the fight. What I'm saying, it'll be a shutout for Shakur.
It could or it may not be.
That's just what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right
You got
about
some of
it
these guys,
could.
they got working together. Like we just seen David Benavidez go up 25 pounds and do that to
Man,
to
they
Zerto.
discrediting
I got
Zerto.
a question.
I'm not discrediting Zerto at all because I actually think
true.
that Zerto is underrated. Personally,
Not
I've been
true.
watching him like a damn hawk.
That's disgusting to me. Like Zerto is not no bum.
No, he's not.
David Benavidez is just that good.
He had that one loss to Dimitri Bivol at 175 outside of that.
That's crazy.
Like Zerto can actually fight.
He's a
big
just
slow.
dude.
He's just slow.
Benavidez, he destroyed him. And everybody was saying Benavidez couldn't even move up to that weight.
I got a question for everybody. I would like one name. Who do you guys think is the toughest fight for Shakur Stevenson? I think it's Oshaki Foster. What do you guys think? One name, please.
Oshaki? Out of who though? Like just anybody?
Anybody, like the ones we just mentioned. Obviously, possible fights. You're not gonna say Usyk or anything
Keyshawn.
like that. Obviously,
I'm gonna say Keyshawn. Keyshawn David.
Awesome. How about everybody else? Kaz, Ant, and T Hill.
Honestly, I think it would probably be. I think it actually might be Tank.
Awesome. I love it.
I'm gonna tell you why I think Tank. Because Shakur's got the ability to slow the pace down, and Tank, he's not a high volume guy like that. So I feel like that suits him, and then I think that he's got the ability to be like quick on the trigger and keep Shakur honest. Like if Tank feints at you, you gotta honor it because he's too damn sharp and he hits hard. So I don't think it would be the most exciting fight by any means, but I think it would be the fight where you would see both of these guys out there really, really thinking how they're gonna get the other one. Yeah. Somewhat similar to what we just saw this weekend with Junto and Monster. Like people thought it was about to be a barn burner. These dudes about to be in there just mixing it up. But the first 6 rounds, it felt like an elongated fail-out round. Like if we keep it stacked, it didn't really heat up until around like round 7, round 8. I think Tank and Shakur would be like that because both of those guys are very, very sharp.
Yeah, Tank is more of a sniper than a machine gunner. So I'm with you there.
Yes.
Cass, T Hill.
Abdullah Mason at 135.
I love it. T Hill.
Hey yo,
There.
hey yo.
What's up, buddy? Give me a name. Who's the Shakur's toughest guy?
Tough to say. I agree with Ant. You never know what it looks like on paper that translates to the ring. But to me, anyone in and around that division, I believe, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna maintain this, Tank on his apex, on his A game, and fully invested, he's gonna be everyone's toughest match in those weights. But like Ant said, it could be someone that we don't even expect, who could come out of nowhere and just be like, man, did you see that fight? He was giving him everything that he wanted.
Yep.
And, it's got to be someone that he's willing to engage with, too. The thing is that it says it takes two to tango. And you can be out there doing moves, but when you want to tango, you got to have the right partner that's going to go out there and be simpatico with you. So it's got to be somebody that I think that he's willing to get in there and provide the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that we all said something different. Well, T Hill and Ant said Tank, and I love it. But man, it's interesting. What about? Okay, so let me give a name that nobody has said, not even me, and I wanna hear what you guys think. Lamont Roach.
I think that would be a good fight. I think it would be a really good fight because Lamont Roach. The only thing with Lamont Roach is this. It's kind of like what Josh said about Oshaki Foster. There are moments where it feels like, all right, man, you could have picked it up a little bit sooner so you could have separated yourself. And that's how I feel about Lamont Roach. Like when I seen the Jamel Herring fight, like he got it going too late in that fight. And when he did, he probably had the biggest moment of the fight. When he rocked Jamel Herring in the 11th round, it looked like he was on the brink of stopping him. But it was like, where the hell was that 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds ago?
I just feel like Oshaki to me, and I know Josh probably not going to like this, but to me, Oshaki will be able to read, for lack of a better word, Shakur's traps and setups better than anybody. I could be wrong about that, okay, because there's some stats in there, but I just believe that Oshaki will be able to not fall into Shakur's quote-unquote trap.
I want y'all to watch Abraham Nova versus Oshaki and Ray Ford versus Oshaki too. Like Oshaki, he's starting to get overhyped for me now. But like with Lamont, like Shakur, I feel like he'd pitch a shutout on Lamont. Cause Lamont, his whole game plan was to wait on Tank. Like that's what made him make it through that fight. Like, and he had probably had the same game plan on Shakur. Cause they just are different. They different than him. Like they able to think for themselves without a coach on a higher level than Lamont is. Like Tank is and Shakur is. And his default is to mirror them. They've been in more limelight fights and stuff. It's a big difference between certain stuff. I think Shakur's style, he'll wind up pitching a shutout on Lamont. But only thing that worried me when it comes to Shakur and any of these fighters is like, is something really wrong with his hands though? Like, not is it really wrong with it, but like, how bad is it? Cause it's kind of seeming like it's bad. So I think he will only. I think he only want to stay at go down to 135. Cause like that might be his only chance of fighting Tank. And he know how his hands doing. Not a rematch. I'm talking about
Shakur. Roach, right? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Roach. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about Shakur fighting at 135. To me, is because he really waiting on Tank.
Well, no, he said another thing, Ja. He said that he would be willing to, because what I heard was Raymond Murataya wanted to fight Shakur at 40. That's what I heard. And then I heard Shakur said that he preferred 35 because of the ring belt. So apparently Shakur's willing to go to 35 for that ring belt to fight Murataya. That's what I heard. Okay.
Yeah, they've been in talks.
I think like that's something he's saying short term to me. But I think his long term only reason he want to be at 135 is so he can get a fight with Tank at 135. And I believe one of his hands is definitely devastated. And I don't think he even believed, I think he believed he could possibly win. But with that hand injury, I think he pretty much know who he dealing with Tank. He ain't gonna be able to. It's a lot of fighters. I think Shakur got a serious hand injury for real. So.
But he's been having them since 2019, going back to the first Power
I
Bio
think it's
fight.
hard. I think it's hard for Shakur to get a fight right now. This whole driver's seat stuff is capped to me.
I think it's safe to say that every fighter, now obviously you got your Joe Calzaghes and Paulie Malignaggi's where you just basically have no hands, right? But I'm saying it's safe to say that every boxer, will have some sort of hand issues. I mean, you're hitting a heavy back thousands of times with this little knuckles right here. I mean, chances are, bro, that. Basically, I'm not trying to diminish.
It seems mad-headed bad
by any means. I'm just saying.
No,
it comes from
I
the
ain't
territory,
saying it like that. I'm saying his look different, and his look real dangerous. And then you gotta think of the competition that he gotta face. Ain't no way he gonna get no win when it comes to these fighters and his hand injuries that he got. Nah. None of them he not going to get no W. He going to be happy that he don't get hurt because that hand injury, you can't hit with your right hand, the only jab, or your left hand, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'd be worried about if I was him.
Yeah.
I think he's a little too well rounded overall, though.
28 or 29 because of that. Yeah.
I think he's a little too well rounded overall for it to be an overwhelming concern. If his path to victory was heavily relying upon it, then I'd be like, yeah. But he's a dude that knows how to take it one round at a time and just bank rounds.
Yeah, he's definitely smart.
Yeah.
He's definitely smart. It's so risky. Man, you talking about elite level fighting.
Yeah.
With who though?
I think.
See who he been fighting
Whoever.
so far. Nah.
Yeah.
Think he could do that with Tank or Keyshawn to work around that?
Yeah.
I don't. I think they see that and they gonna tear that up all day.
I think so. I think so with Tank because of the volume. Tank is not a guy that's gonna go out there and throw a crazy amount of punches. If anything, it's the guys like the Williams and Peters of the world that make it more challenging because not only does he have to punch back, but defensively, catching punches as well. I'm pretty sure that hurts if you got bad hands, having to catch and block and defend. So a guy that's going to be throwing upwards of 1,000 punches in a fight, absolutely. But I think with Tank, with him, is the main thing is just being sharp. If he can just manage to outpoint him, like I said, it may not be exciting. It may be similar to the Edwin De Los Santos fight where it's not too much action, but it's if I land 6 punches to your 2, then
let's say,
win is a win.
Let's say Tank had, how Zapata had Shakur on the ropes. Let's say just 5-10 seconds of Tank having Shakur on the ropes like that. Man, what he gonna do if he can't get him off of him
tie his ass up?
You gonna go to sleep, man?
That's what's dangerous. Give me a hug. You get
but the other thing too is Tank ain't throwing that many punches when somebody's on the ropes. So that's the other part of it.
He is not.
And I doubt that Shakur is dumb enough to do what Leo Santa Cruz did when he was on the ropes. Throw the same punch 3 times in a row and hang himself out to dry. I don't see him doing nothing like that.
Only threw that body shot twice.
Yeah, but you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. you know you're gonna get hit eventually. Like not everyone,
Yes, it,
you know. And William Cepeda, to your point, and I mean, even if you're not sitting on the punches, those do have impact, even if it is by accumulation. So you're absolutely right about that. The thing with Cepeda, and I think he's
You
about
gotta
to
watch
fight
out.
Lamont Roach. Not sure.
Yep, for the WBC.
Exactly.
Nas,
That's gonna be
Nas,
interesting as hell.
you gotta watch out if somebody walking past. Don't just act like they not there.
I want to see somebody be really active with him so then he could really go into his bag. Because if you watch Shakur's career from the time he was like 126 up until now, he's got things that he's got things in the arsenal that he doesn't pull out of the fight. And that's one thing I will say about him that I really do enjoy. While it may not always be the most exciting, I like the fact that like whatever tools are necessary for the job, those are the ones that he brings. Like, he's not going to do anything more than what the job requires.
That's a fact.
He's not a David Benavidez type of guy where he's really going to put it all out there. But he does have other dimensions. Like you look at the fight that he had with the dude Jesse Rosales, when he was working on the inside and working to the body. It's like, oh, okay, so you can fight on the inside. But if he can just keep you at bay with the jab and you can't get past that, he's not going to just forfeit the range and allow you to come in and make it an exciting fight. Like, you're going to have to push him to that point. You got to force his hand.
Shakur's surgical to the body, though. I don't think people realize how surgical Shakur is to the body.
Yeah, very sharp body puncher.
Yeah.
But once again, it's like he's not frequent
Go
to the body.
ahead.
So-
Why you trying to get on that side? Let Nas get in first, though. Get on that side, Nas.
But I'm interested in seeing him and Raymond Morataya because I could only
I was
imagine
just
that
about to say that. Yeah.
Raymond got more confidence after the Andy Cruz fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the way you're describing it now, I was just about to say Raymond Murataya because Raymond Murataya can do the activity and he can bring a hell of a lot more boxing IQ than Cepeda has.
Yeah, like Raymond.
Not to mention much better legs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's not, I stand on what I said that to me, Shock is the toughest test, but number two to me, very close second, and probably people are going to disagree with this. Welcome. It's Raymond Murataya, bro. Seriously.
If there's any carryover from that last fight, I believe it's an even better fight than it is now. Because initially I was kind of like on Raymond, not him personally, but as an opponent for Shakur because of the fight that he had with Tevin Farmer. And he had a very difficult time locating him.
Also, the Saud Abdullah fight. I was super skeptical about him after the Saud Abdullah fight, but he shut me up with the Cruz fight. I'm not gonna lie.
No, absolutely. He did a tremendous job of maintaining his presence in that fight. It seemed like no matter where Andy Cruz tried to go, Raymond was like right there. Even when he wasn't punching.
Yes.
He provided, a presence a majority of the fight.
And he didn't win as the fight went as he did against Saud Abdullah, because that was the main thing for me. I was like, is this another, Sabjuda or Caleb Plant where you're awesome?
Yeah, he was down on him after that fight, Arnie. Remember the Russian guy? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you was hard on him.
And the same with Navarrete. Navarrete shut me up for real, bro. I'm gonna shut my pie hole when it comes to Vaquero Navarrete.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys, man, where it's like, regardless of what it looks like, he is the best Emmanuel Navarrete. You know what I mean? Like, he is the best version of himself. To me, he epitomizes that, like that saying, like the best person you could be in the world is yourself.
Yeah,
and he knows himself inside and out.
Yeah,
he
has mastered his style.
Yep.
It's awkward as holy hell, but it's like a beautiful awkwardness, if that's even
And
at times, but man, I'm like, because I had a suspicion that he could get Sugar based on the Christopher Diaz fight.
Yes.
Sugar looked shaky as hell in that Christopher Diaz fight.
That was a war, bro.
Who is
And I was not
Sugar?
expecting that. Sugar Nunez. But I was not expecting that from Christopher Diaz because Christopher Diaz didn't look good in the previous fight
Yeah.
that he had
Yeah,
against LeBron. I thought LeBron was out there like boxing well, and Christopher Diaz he was following him around, kind of like how Ramirez was doing with Devin Haney. Like he was in range, but he wasn't letting his hands
Yeah.
go. He just couldn't
Yeah,
pull the
his
trigger.
hands-
He's had a couple of shaky performances, and I feel bad for Pitufo Diaz, bro, because he fired his last bullet on that fight, man, on the Nunez fight.
But man, he was terrific in the Nunez fight, Christopher
Yeah.
Diaz. So after seeing that fight, I didn't know what the hell to make of Nunez. I was like, I know he's good. I know he's
And
athletic. I know
Navarrete was
he's
coming
tricky.
off of a shaky performance, remember, against Charlie
Yeah.
Suarez. So
Yes,
Didn't you
yes.
fight him again, Arnie?
He should have
Oh,
lost. He
oh,
should have
they
lost by
fight again?
TKO.
Navarrete was coming off of a
Yeah.
shaky performance against Charlie Suarez himself. So all the more reason to be like, damn.
But ain't they making that fight again, him and Suarez?
I don't think so. They're in talks
No.
to unify.
I
I
heard
think.
something about that. Okay. Yeah.
They should,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah, because I thought he lost too.
But that's Emmanuel Navarrete, though. You never know what the hell you're going to get from that guy. He's like a mixed bag. You see him look shaky one time, then he looks phenomenal. Then he looks shaky again. Because like I was watching the Baranchyk fight the other day. Oh, my goodness. One of the sloppiest fights ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even against Liam Wilson, he looked kind of shaky.
then,
Yeah, he
Conceição.
was shaky in that fight, too. The Robinson Conceição fight. He was like,
Mhm.
Then he bounced back and just absolutely demolished Valdez. I never seen Valdez get beat that bad. Oh my
No, I never
goodness.
seen
Man,
nobody
I
make him
forgot
look
about
like
that one. I forgot about that one. That's absolutely right. But brother, I had Navarrete and Nunez as a projected fight of the year contender.
Mhm.
It
Like,
was
that's
anything but that. It was like all
Exactly.
one-way traffic.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, bro. I thought it was gonna be up there for like fight of the year. I was like, man, this is about to be a banger.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. It was just like all one way. It was Emmanuel Navarrete all the way through.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, goodness gracious. I didn't expect that.
Mm-mm. I gotta get ready to go.
Let me get you
fellas.
guys' prediction on Dubois Wardley before I go, please.
This will be the last one. Dubois Wardley?
Yeah.
I'm
Dubois.
pulling for Wardley.
Yeah.
I don't have a prediction because I'm looking at different things. Like for one,
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois got a sneaky underrated jab. Like that jab is
Mhm.
heavy as hell. Like if you look at the
Mhm.
fight that he had with AJ, that's what won him the fight for real, for real.
Yeah.
Yes.
When he put the jab on him, it was like a pile driver. Like
Mhm.
AJ just did not respond to it well, and then he was able to follow up with the right hand.
Mhm.
It's like a Beterbiev like jab where he can
Yes.
literally hurt you with the jab.
It's heavy.
Or a
It's
Sonny
heavy.
Liston. Or a Sonny Liston
Like
like jab.
Jab is a power punch.
It's not a blinder. Yeah, it's like it's damn near like a cross.
Right. Right.
But,
I got Dubois by stoppage. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me
Wardley
too,
is showing a really good chin though, because he's showing a really
yeah,
good
but
chin.
let me tell you something about that. Like Wardley hasn't really fought a big puncher yet. If you look at it, I mean, Josh Parker, Justice Hooney, Fraser
Mhm.
Clark. He hasn't really fought a killer yet, you know. And in my opinion, and this with all due respect to all three of those gentlemen, right, and all the others, but he hasn't really fought somebody like that. Like Dubois, to me, you know, the fact that he's been in there with Usyk, with AJ, to me, man, that's got to mean something, you know.
Yeah.
It does, and I can hear where I hear where you're coming from, but I can also look at the other side of it too. Because if you look at the Usyk fights, both of those, how did they go?
No, I get it, but AJ, bro, I mean,
How did the Joe Joyce fight go for Dubois?
Juggernaut.
but that was a million years ago. That's like bringing up Ronald Gabriel for Benavides, man. That was a million years ago. But I mean, I get it. His orbital was broken. I get
Yeah,
it.
but
And
what's his name? He beat what's his name? He beat Ronald Gravell.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know. I'm just saying because
He had that little flash knockdown late in the fight.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was damn near open and shut. And then when they ran it back, it was even more conclusive.
But
More
Wardley,
conclusive,
but
yeah.
would you agree, Ant, that Wardley? I mean, excuse me, AJ is much more similar to Wardley than Usyk is.
Nah, not really.
Come on, man.
No, because Wardley actually has pretty good upper body movement. Did you rewatch that? Did you have a chance to rewatch the fight with Joseph Parker? There were some things that Worley was
I'll
doing
do it.
in there where
I'll
I
do
was
it.
like, damn, he's really learning on the job. His coach is doing a terrific job with him. And the reason why I mentioned those fights is because when Daniel Dubois, when he got dropped by a jab by Usyk in the first fight.
Mhm.
Then in the second fight, he got sparked out.
Yeah, he got massacred.
And then in the fight with what's the name,
Yeah.
Joe Joyce, he got his face broken up. And one thing we do know about Worley is Worley can punch. We seen him basically detach Frazier Clark's jaw from his face. He had a damn dent in the side of his face. His jaw was dangling. He looked like an open cash register. So what I'm saying is there's a very good chance that Daniel Dubois could taste Worley's power and get sent right back down that dark place again. Now the jury is still out on Worley, because you made a fantastic point. Like, we know he got a chin, but we don't know how good his chin is. Because Justice Huey is not a huge puncher. Absolutely right. Joseph Parker's got a decent punch on him. He's got like a 63% KO ratio. It's decent, but it ain't Daniel Dubois type power.
Right.
So we know how Daniel Dubois deals with power. He don't necessarily deal with it too well, especially if he's hit clean. Hell, he might mess around and go back to his old ways, man.
Mm-hmm.
He might fold.
If that goes the distance, man,
I'd be surprised.
Oh man, my jaw is dropping if that makes the distance, bro.
My next child would be named Daniel Fabio. If that goes the distance, I would have to name my kid after those two gentlemen, regardless of gender.
Wow.
I'd have a little girl named Daniel Fabio.
Daniela Fabiana.
Yeah. Right.
If that fight goes the distance, I'd be surprised. But yeah, you're right though, Irony. But the jury is out.
Yes, sir.
He might get clipped with a shot, and he
It is
might be able to
50-50 though.
shoulder through it.
I think it's 50-50. Like, I'm not saying that, I'm going for Dubois because I just believe he's consistently been in there with better opposition as opposed to Fabio.
He has.
And a few other things. But the fact of the matter, bro, if Fabio stops him, I wouldn't be like shocked. Like props to Fabio, man. You have officially arrived. Cass, Ja, and T Hill, how do you guys see it?
I don't know. I gotta look at it. I gotta look at both fighters again. I'm just listening to what y'all saying.
Yeah, you told me that.
It sounds like I'm looking forward to just researching before this weekend, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching some fights on them and stuff. That's my brother's birthday. Yeah, man, and I appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings and love.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah. Cash, you know what I'm saying? Found out we real family.
Yeah, I know.
That make me feel good, man.
Yeah, your grandfather named Eugene, right?
Yeah.
You said Eugene. Yeah, my sister know that name. She know everything about the family. So yeah, we're a real blood family.
Appreciate that. I've probably seen y'all at the family reunion before. Yeah. All right, though. One love. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, y'all.
God bless you, man.
Appreciate the debate. Yeah. Y'all like debating and disagreeing with people.
Yeah. I love him, though.
But yeah. Very knowledgeable, though. Yeah.
He'll stand on business, bro. He'll die on his hill just like I'll die on my hill.
And when
so I respect
you
that.
somebody that's knowledgeable and know what they're talking about, it make it even, better.
Yeah.
Just somebody just talking off the top of the head, something they heard somewhere else last week.
Right. He'll stand on what he is saying.
Yeah.
Can only respect that, whether you agree or not.
Mm-hmm. You gotta respect that. Yeah, but I gotta get ready to go, fellas. With y'all, beautiful debate.
Awesome. Always great with you guys.
You coming on tonight, Arnie?
I don't think so. Maybe because I'm thinking of covering the Japanese fight tomorrow early if I can get.
Oh, that's why you said a fight on tomorrow night. Is that pro box or just a?
No. It's
What network is it?
It's how to watch. Let's see. I'll tell you right. It says U-Next. What the heck is that? I don't know. It's in Japan though, so
It's tomorrow night, though,
I'll
right?
be tomorrow at 3:30. What does it say here? Start time 3:30 a.m. Eastern time.
3:30.
So the
Oh,
main
yeah,
event is
yeah,
like
Japan.
5 or 6 a.m.
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm. Okay.
But I may go. I just like doing Bruce Gas trivias on Tuesday nights, you know. But I may go live. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh, that's right.
See.
Yeah, Bruce Gas.
I'm going
What
on
time does that
Thursday,
start?
though.
7? I'm gonna try to catch that.
I think it's 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
What
or
time is
something
Bruce
like that.
Gas? That's already 7.
I
Bruce
think
Gas
8
is 7,
p.m.
right? His quiz show.
I think it's 8.
8. Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch
I'm gonna
that.
be live on Thursday though, for sure. Thursday night for sure.
Okay.
I'll be live.
Okay. Yeah, Bruce is pretty good. He has some hard questions. too.
Oh man, tell me about it.
Yeah. I can't even answer half of them, man. You know?
All right, God bless,
It's
fellas.
fun.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, Arnie,
You
appreciate
guys
you. And Aunt Thomas
Yes,
Hill,
sir.
Jaw. Okay. And you still there, Thomas Hill? You wasn't doing too much talking. T Hill? Okay, I guess T Hill's logo is up there, but he not up there. Okay, everybody, but I appreciate everybody. What was it? Aunt, Define Arnie, Thomas Hill, and Jaw. Great panel. I'm get no better than that. Nowhere. Them big, trying to learn something. But everybody have a great afternoon. I appreciate y'all. Really do. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you boxing history. Just Do Boxing, probably been in progress. So we, jump over there. But everybody have a great afternoon. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.